And we're going to work on some skills tree stuff as well. And we've already made a good start on that, but the skills tree stuff needs to be done before we do the boss, because it's pretty hard to balance the battle properly when the playable characters don't have their skills learnt. I kind of want to get those skills implemented and test them on the boss and see if it's beatable like that. Because at the moment, we only have like the main attack set up and we're too weak with just that alone. So we definitely need to get the skills properly implemented. I think from what I remember, the warrior was basically there and the hunter and vampire were halfway done. So there's just a bit of like tidying up to do. And some of the vampire skills in particular are pretty interesting and unique, so it takes a bit of brain work to figure out how to implement some of those, but we'll do those. So it's going to be skill tree stuff before boss mechanic stuff, and because we got 2 weeks left in May, probably I'll see this week and then this next week. And as for the other two things, might do them some days on streams if we want a little break from battle mechanics. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I'll keep refreshing this like a silly person. It's still a draw between Carol and Oliver right now. Okay, so I've got a notepad file up as well, because there are so many little bits and bobs to do when it comes to these two particular tasks here, the battle mechanic ones. So many tiny little bits and bobs that need sorting out. So I'm going to work on the generic battle system stuff today rather than the skill trees, because there's a lot of things that aren't perfect about it, but I see myself tidying that up and improving it over the course of episode 1's development anyway. I'm not going to expect the whole battle system to work and look perfect all in one go, because it's a bit overwhelming to think of it like that. I tend to like doing things bit by bit and seeing a gradual improvement. So I'm gonna probably do a test play to show you guys how that looks, but there's definitely, it's looking decent. I spent a bit of time doing a bit of custom UI with the battle system, and it took a bit of time because I'm not a proper coder, so yeah, it took a lot of thinking to get that done, but in the end I did it and it looks pretty cool, but there's still a lot to work on with it in terms of the UI. So that I'll probably do a bit of that maybe, but I definitely want to prioritise skill tree. Like I said, the look of the battle system can be improved. That could be done right at the end if I wanted it to be done before we release episode 1. The main thing is that it's workable at first. That's kind of how I see it, that everything works, and making it pretty can come after. Right, so one thing in particular that needs to be done, which is ridiculously important but also ridiculously time consuming, is this. I'll show you guys now. So Trello, you can go for a bit. This is our custom hero. This is my custom hero. This is the one I made. This is him as a warrior, and this is him as a hunter. And because those are the two playable classes you can choose between when you make your hero at the start of the game. I've got a sneak peek, haven't I? Exclamation mark, sneak peek? Or is it peek? Or it's none of those, because I forgot the command. I'm going to have a look. Peaks, that's it. I was close. So that particular sneak peek video, yeah, it used to be sneak peeks, Asriel. you goggle memory, because it did used to be, but I changed it to peaks because just to make it short and sweeter, you know, so there's less to type in for myself and for you guys if you wanted to use the command. So trying to catch me how you got me as well. I was trying to trick you this whole time. But yeah, basically that particular video, it's only a minute long. It shows how the custom hero creator works. It's the first thing you'll see when you click new game in Raindrop Chronicles. You'll see all of that. So that's just like showing you what the options are, that you can change your hair colour, your hairstyle, you pick your class, pick where you want a beard or not if you're a dude, all those sort of things, complexion, gender, etc. You could do that. I really like that because it's like, at least you can have your own character, right? You don't just have to have some default boring hero, and I'm not kidding you, it was a lot of work to do for me. It was all done with conditional statements and variables. That's how it was made, because someone asked me on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, they were like, how did you make your custom hero thing? And I was like, yeah, just conditional statements and variables. And they were like, holy crap, that's a lot. That is hard work. I think they expected it to be some kind of plugin. But no, it's not. There's no plugin with it, which I like as well, because I don't really like using too many plugins if I can help it, because I get scared that they'll break and not be compatible with each other. So if I do use plugins, I tend to just use ones that work together well, ones that are done by the same person, and like Yanfly, who is a very famous plugin maker in the RPG Maker community, for example. Hard work to create, but once it's done, it makes your life easier for sure. And because we have a custom hero creator where you can pick all these different features of your hero, we literally have hundreds of different custom hero assets, right? So there are a possibility of 100 different looks as this custom hero. I might be exaggerating saying hundreds, but I think it is. It might be a couple of hundred, it might be a little bit more than that. We'll see today, because this is what we're going to be doing. Because one thing I've wanted to do, right, where is it hiding? One thing I've wanted to do that isn't actually a thing in the default RPG Maker MV, pardon me, is I want them to have their weapon showing. For some reason, the layer I was using isn't there anymore. I must have accidentally deleted it, which is dookie if I did. But we can do that again, because I wasn't 100% happy with the positioning anyway. So, but basically like this, I wouldn't want the axe to look exactly like that, because it's covering a bit of his face, but you know what I mean. I want to give the illusion that they're holding their weapon, when really it's just a separate sprite that's just been layered on top. And if we do that, like if we put that axe on every single sprite, and same for the warrior with, yeah, the hunter's not meant to have the axe, that's why. Silly me. There we go. The hunter has the bow, so we'll give them the bow after. But yes, the warrior has the axe and the hunter has the bow. So the way we'd have to do it would be to just put the axe in the right position on each of the sprites, and then when they're in battle, then they will look like they're actually holding that weapon at all times. Because as it is, you don't get to see them with the weapon except for when they actually hit an enemy. You'll see it then, but I want more than that. I actually want to see them holding the weapon because it looks badass. Comics, how you doing? Hello, Comics. Thank you so much for that raid. How are you guys doing? Let's give a shout out to Hello, Comics. Thank you so much again, and welcome back to the stream. How did your development go today with your game? Tell us how it is. I hope it was a productive one. Hope you're having a good Monday as well, guys. And Real Super as well, welcome. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, tell us how your stream went. And guys, give Hello Comics a follow if you you know, love the game dev. I know some of you here obviously do, because you wouldn't be watching me otherwise. So yeah, make sure you do. Welcome raiders, yay. But yeah, so basically that is kind of a goal that we haven't done yet, and the reason why we haven't done it yet is because we have hundreds of different custom heroes to put this axe on, or the bow if it's a hunter. So I've been delaying it because it's such a time consuming thing to do, and unfortunately I have been looking into things. I've looked to see if there's a plugin that lets you do it in an easier way, like kind of grabs the image separately. Like for example, it'd be pretty cool if you could like just put the axe on its own separate PNG file, and then RPG Maker would just overlay that on top and in a similar way, and that would make it easier because then I wouldn't have to manually place the weapon on every single version of custom hero we've got. But unfortunately such a plugin doesn't exist, because that is one downfall of this engine. It's limited, you know. You can only really do basic stuff, and if you want to be more creative about it, you have to get around it with some hacks, or you know, just put a lot of thought into how you're gonna, you know, make it super cool. So yeah, because of that, unfortunately we gotta just do it this way, which it will be a bit time consuming, but once it's done, I guess, unless we wanted loads of different types of axes. If we wanted to, like, you know, change the visual look of the axe, like have a gold one or a bronze or a black sort of one, like different looks of axes, then we'd have to do all of those axes on all of the custom heroes as well, which, because this game isn't like fast paced in regards to that you'll be in another village within an hour and you'll need a new weapon eventually, I can't see you having the hero having too many different weapon types in episode 1 alone. You know, there's only one village, there's only Lakefall, and there'll be a weapon shop there, so I assume there'll be a different weapon type there compared to the one that he has on him at the start of the game. And then maybe there'll be a special one that you can craft, or one you get from a side quest or from a boss or something. So there might be a few, but yes, it's very, very, you know, that's the downfall. That's the one downfall, but it's definitely doable for sure. It's all just time consuming stuff is all. But luckily for the other playable characters that we've got on our Discord that you guys can see here, all these guys, they only have one version. They're not custom, so it'll be so much easier to just overlay their weapon on them and have different variations of their weapons. That's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, but it's just that custom hero because of all the many different variations of the look, his or her look. So yes. And research stream today, which means falling around playing games, can't type. Oh, that sounds like a fun stream. A research stream. Maybe I'll steal that idea. So, but yeah, sometimes you need those streams, don't you? Because need to be inspired. Otherwise you wouldn't know where to go next. That sounds fun. What games did you play on the stream? I can't type. Well, that pixel art is high def. Hiya, Kent, how are you doing? Oh, what? Yeah, this pixel art actually is doubled in size compared to the vanilla default RPG Maker, because he looks so tiny on the screen. Especially because my game's full resolution. The original, most RPG Maker games are in like a little tiny window, but I've made mine, you know, a full screen one. So because of that, he looked like super tiny. So I doubled the size, which is another thing we've got to do, guys. I'm going to show you as an example what an original one looks like. So let's just get a random custom hero. Here's a blonde female hunter character that can, oh no, that's a sprite. That's a walking sprite. Sorry, I pulled the wrong thing. Let me get the battlers out. And we'll get the right one. So SV actors, that's it. Thank you, Black Genos, for the follow. How are you doing? Okay, so here's a random custom hero. So I think that's 100%, is it? Yeah, that's 100%. So that's their original size, and that's the size I've made them. So they just look much better in the battle system when they're double, because they don't look like tiny little dots compared to the enemies. They don't look lost on the screen. For some games it would look perfectly fine because they're a smaller window, but for mine it didn't. So yeah, we've got to do that we got to double the size of all of them, because otherwise they'll look small on the screen if we leave them like that. I've only done my custom hero so far, but you know, it's not too bad that we've got to do that anyway, considering we're going to add the weapon on all of them anyway. It's not really going to make our job much harder. So the plan is to get the axe. Well, not for the hunt, the axe for the warrior, to get it all in position, do a test play of the battle system and make sure that it all looks all right, and that the axe isn't like, you know, like not in the right position. Make sure it's all smoothly animated and working. And once we've done a test and know that it is, then we just copy and paste the actual layer of all the axes and just plop them onto every single other custom hero variation we've got, and save them all, and of course make them 2 times bigger as well while we do that. And then no matter what hero look that you pick for your hero, they'll all have their weapon in their hand. Bow if they're a hunter, axe if they're a warrior. And that is a very first step thing to do, considering we're working on battle system stuff this week and skills tree stuff. It makes sense to do this first, because this is a first step thing. You don't have a battle system if you don't have your hero looking right, do you? You look silly. So we're gonna do that today, because it's easy. It's easy enough to do. It's just time consuming, and it'll be a good first job done. But I'm gonna do a test play as well, just to remind ourselves what state our battle system's in, and list any tasks that need to be done. So, test play. So we'll go to Blessed Cascade, because that's where we have some of our enemy encounters. I put this apple fruit here. Oops, well, I wasn't meant to do that. That has taken us to the scene. I've put the apple there because that's to test play the fruit boss. So I've just stuck in there to make things quicker. And this is one of our plant enemies, which is standing on the spot at the moment, but that's so he doesn't bump into us. Right, so as you can see, he's got his axe in his hand, and I'm not 100% sure that's perfect. I might have a mess around to say, but it's working, and it's that's the main thing. He's holding it just like we thought. The icons in battle I've currently made invisible because I wasn't happy with how the icons looked. I want to find some that'll really look good and go well with the UI. So yes, let's just attack for now. So yeah, he's like, actually, this is an interesting thing now. he's actually not got the axe equipped right now. He's got bare hands, which is another interesting thing, because if I want to do a bare hands version as well, then that's more like if statements and that I've got to do for every single custom hero. But I was thinking there surely would be a plugin or something that forces you to have a weapon equipped, like the basic axe, because that would be ideal if I could do that. But if I open this chest here, I've put an axe in here, and I've also let Rose join the party at this point. So yeah, the axe makes us a bit stronger than expected. So he actually does have the axe equipped this time, so he'll still, yeah, he does a little swing thing at the start. That's like a custom intro thing I put there. So he's he has bare hands right there because we haven't filled in all the sprites yet, but yeah, everything works and as I hoped it would. Yeah, it's just that little issue with him when he has bare hands. We wouldn't want him to have an axe then, because he shouldn't have an axe, obviously. So I'd have to get around that somehow, either by doing a version of his battler with bare hands and doing a ton of if statements on a common event or something, or disabling the option to have bare hands completely. Because the fact is, when he went at the start of the game, he will have an axe equipped. He's not going to have bare hands unless you are silly and unequip the axe for some reason. So, okay. So one thing that I do want to work on with this battle system, I do like how we've got their little boxes and we've got the active kind of shiny on who's active. I do like that look. But I'm not sure if the actual UI, the bars are the final version yet. I might want to make them look a bit nicer. We had the turn-based counter thing in the top corner. But this little circle in the middle with the that all needs to be prettified and just made more visually appealing, because at the moment we've got no icons there. But that is, like I said earlier in the stream, something I'm going to be working on between now and episode 1's release date. I'll be like slowly improving the look on not just the battle system UI, but the menu as well, because the menu is very vanilla at the moment and I kind of want to make it look more fancy than that. But I'm not the sort of person that likes doing everything in one go, because that can cause burnout. So I tend to prefer doing bits at a time and then slowly see the improvement over the course of the months. Hi, welcome back, Aggro. Looking nice. How you doing? I hope you're having good work. Hope work's been nice to you today. But yeah, so as you can see, we've got the hero holding his axe. Rose won't have like a traditional weapon because she's a vampire. She just bites with teeth, so she won't have to be holding a weapon. So we won't have to do her. But it's for the other playable characters like Rose and all the others that we've got, it's so much easier to just stick their weapon on their sprites than it is for the custom hero, just because we don't have a bazillion versions of them like we do the custom hero. But so there are some, like I said, some battle system UI things I want to make. I want it to look really nice eventually, and it's not terrible right now, it's workable, but I just want to make it look prettier over time. So I might actually just on my to-do list make a simple note, add icons, because we got no icons at the moment. Make UI nicer or prettier. But UI a little, no, just prettier. Oh, and the other the main task, the one we're doing today, is add weapon, axe and buy to all custom heroes. Whoa, yeah, time-consuming job that's going to be, but it's going to be well worth it when it's done. And skill tree stuff, just simple that is, just make sure it's all done for warrior, hunter and vampire, each the 4 skills, the first 4. And then we got boss stuff. So this is going to be this week, and this will be next week. So I'm actually going to put here next week, just so I don't forget. So that'll be from the 25th of May. '25th to the 29th. Because we can't do the Everbloom Forest boss mechanics until we've done the skill tree and implemented the skill tree stuff, because we can't properly balance things. And if that boss is, we're happy with the difficulty level of that boss, we can't balance that until we've tested all our the skills we'd have at that point in the game on that boss. So for that reason, yes, skill tree has to come first. That'll be this week, and we're not doing that today because we're working on actual battle system general stuff today. This here, so I'm gonna put today. But we're not, the icons and UI prettier is for the future to do over time. Just because we, you know, that sort of thing can just be done anytime. But I do want to do this today. So this week, it's the 18th today, isn't it? So I'd say from Wednesday's stream, I guess. So from the 20th. The 22nd of May. So we can start skill tree stuff on Wednesday. I mean, we've already made a start on skill tree, just so you know, folks. I've already implemented the skill tree. Like, it's in the menu, the skill trees, and the look of the skill trees there, and the first 4 skills are all there and working, and they can be learnt and experience, or not experience, AP or class points. Yeah, you can spend class points that you earn in battle on the skills to learn them once you get a certain amount. Very similar to the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X. So that's working, but it's just all about implementing the skills and making sure they're working properly and working in battle and they're not broken or anything. So that'll be what I do this week. But yeah, we gotta do all this today, so I'm glad I made some notes because it's so easy to just forget. So let's get Photoshop back up. Rose, hello, hi Lux, how are you doing? And hi Binary as well, how are you guys doing? Happy Monday. It's going smoothly, yay. Do you plan to implement the character sheets in game, kind of like how some games have bios of the characters in a menu on some RPGs? Well, I guess it's like whether it would go with the UI. I mean, I think we could easily like have a bio section in the menu, or have a bio as part of the character's like interface within the menu, the party characters. But yeah, a lot of features and stuff I'm gonna, you know, that's gonna be something I smooth out and tidy up and add over time. Things like features that can be implemented, because you know, anything's possible, well, to a certain degree, I guess, when it comes to adding it in the game. But I think it's a nice idea to add a bio, but I know Witcher 3 had that, and I sometimes I like just spending ages reading that kind of thing. So we'll say, yeah. I mean, the actual character sheet itself, I don't know if I'd stick it in as an image. I might have to redesign or just make it fit with the actual game UI, because the character sheets that I've designed, it's kind of the purpose of them was more for the community, so that you could see them and like know who's her, and come up with story ideas and character arc ideas from reading those, so people aren't lost and like, well, who's this, you know, just like helps the community get to know who all the characters are. But you know, it's still a good idea to have a sort of bio menu area in the game, I guess. And the equip skill screen could simply have an about history tab. Yeah, exactly. I think as a lore, I want this to be very lore heavy, this game, and you know, having that sort of history section, not just about characters but about events and locations, filling that all out with like lore details could be nice. I know a lot of RPGs do that, so you could always look at some of them for inspiration with how they approach it. But yes, lore book menu perhaps added you to discover things. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a nice thing to add. And even the loading screen at the moment, we've just got the default loading screen. It's really boring, but before episode 1 gets released, I'd really like to do a custom loading screen and like have a little bit of lore at the bottom, a random bit of lore that comes up, a bit like how Skyrim do it. Usually get this fancy nice image and then a bit of text at the bottom, something random to do with lore. I've that's kind of the idea that I've got for the custom loading screen. But yes, I have put what you guys have said in my notepad file because I want to remember. I want to remember these things. Don't want to forget. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty of streams between now and episode 1's release that are UI streams where we completely like work on the menu and just making it pretty and the battle UI and things. That'll definitely be something we work on, but I could see that being something that gets done, you know, once everything's workable first and tidied up. Because menu and UI can be done anytime as long as we don't release the episode first, because I wouldn't like it if episode 1 looked different to episode 2. For example, like if the menu was really plain in episode 1 but yet became fancy in episode 2, that would bother me, the inconsistency. So I'd kind of want to make sure that it was how we want it for episode 1, for sure. I am the law, yeah, best emote binary, right? Carol Barrel, best emote. Love the Skyrim loading screen. Spending hours spinning the Skyrim objects around. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I'm just a geek for lore. I'm like, oh, what's that sound? I like reading it and it's interesting. So I kind of want to go for that same thing. It's a similar thing with our loading screen, because we get loading screens in this game when we go in between maps. So, you know, you want them. You want them. You don't want a boring one. Right, first task then. Wow, this is overwhelming because there's just going to be so many to do. But wow, I'm going to have a party when I've done it. So guys, first task is to actually get the axe on every single sprite. This is the easy job. And then we'll get the bow on the hunter version of him. And then we're going to have to open every single custom hero variation we've got and stick the axe on them too, all the bow. So just to show you an example, guys, I mean, I'd love to show you my file explorer, but I usually don't get that up on window capture because, you know, some private might be on there. But I wish I could show you just so you know exactly how many we have. Let me just see if there's anything we don't want to reveal on here. I think it's okay, but it's better to be safe than sorry sometimes. But you'll see them later in stream anyway, because we'll be getting them all up one at a time. Wow. But there are There's a lot, I can't count. Is there a way to highlight in Windows to see how many items are selected? Because I could give you the exact number if it did that, but I don't think it is. Anyway, let's get cracking because we've got plenty to do. So, right, first of all, I'm gonna just get up the internet. So I've got loads of tabs and can't see where I am, but here we are. So these are axes, right? Let's just zoom in on them a bit. And I'm going to be honest, I would love it if over time we can have loads of different axe variations for the warrior, and same for the hunter as well, lots of different bows. But it would be a big job if I'm going to put every single axe type possible on all those custom heroes. So for now, I'm going to just pretend, well, see it as we're only ever going to have one type of axe and one type of bow for the hero, and that doesn't include the other playable characters. All our other playable characters in the game will be able to have lots of variations of their weapons because it's easier. There's not all these custom heroes, so it'll be fine. But yeah, we might only have to have one axe. I mean, I'm ambitious enough to think, yeah, I want to have different variations, but right now I don't want to put too much on my plate. So for that reason, I'm going to just pick a generic axe and see that as the axe we'll always have. And I kind of am drawn to that one. I think that's kind of similar to the one we've got, but it hasn't got the thing at the bottom, which I prefer because when the hero holds that, it looks a bit weird. So I prefer what the just complete wood handle without the material there. Do you plan to have new weapons for all the community made playable characters for each episode too, or are they going to stick with that? Oh, yeah, I've already answered that one. So yeah, but yes, yeah, the plan is yes. For people like your character, Aggro, because I know you want to make a playable character. Yeah, it'll be great if you can have different blades, different like big swords, different variations, because the assets are all there and there's plenty. And it'll be easy to implement for you and the other playable hit characters because you've only got one look, you know what I mean? I don't have to like put it on a bazillion different assets. It's not a hard job, but it is for the custom hero because of all the different versions we got. It's the same reason why we can't give facial expressions to the custom hero, because, you know, we'd have to do facial expressions for hundreds of different variations. So he's just got a boring face, just a plain old face. But other characters like Rose, for example, she has a lot of expressions because she's only got one look. And it'll be the same for the rest of you. So you'll be more exciting and more varied. But yeah, the hero will be a bit more boring. I mean, I'd love it if there was a way around it. And I'm still hoping there will be a way around it for the custom hero. And I'll come up with a way to still have a bunch of different axes and bows. But at this stage, I can't promise it just because of the workload involved, the amount of assets that would have to be created. So I'm going to save this image and bring in the axe. And we'll plop that on the hero. Test it in battle, make sure he's holding it properly and the animation's smooth. And then we'll put it on all the custom heroes. We'll do the warrior first, I'd say. And then we'll do the hunter after. We'll pick a nice bow for the hunter after that. Hi Van, how you doing? It's good to see you again. How was your weekend, Van? And guys, I want to just as well let you know we have a poll. It's just for fun. This poll is just for fun, guys. I'm doing it to say who is the most popular. So it's not a Discord poll or anything because it's separate to the the votes that we do for the game. So I've just like made a simple straw poll, and it's just for funsies. And the character sheets are in the Discord as well. Carol's winning. Wow. Carol, people love Carol, don't they? But, you know, it's still early days. Still early days with these votes. But whoever's bottom, I'm gonna work extra hard on the characters that don't get as many votes, because they'll need to be made better and more popular. So say if like Woody gets no votes, which I know isn't true because Chub Cheeks will vote for Woody. Say if Meryl gets no votes and she's bottom at this poll, then that will mean I'm going to make Meryl the best character ever, just on purpose. Because I'll work extra hard on Meryl, so she'll get the boost. Yay. And hi Drift, how you doing? What system are you using? Because you could use a compositioning template system to layer custom facial expressions over the top blanked heads. I'm using RPG Maker. It's actually my title now, guys, because it was such a common question, understandably so. Lots of people were coming in stream saying, oh, what program are you using? So I've actually popped it in my title from now on, because I think it's important, you know, especially as lots of people ask. I always answer. I'm always like, it's RPG Maker, MV. But, you know, it's just easier if people can see, I guess. But RPG Maker's very limited, so I unfortunately don't think that's a possibility, Drift, because, I mean, it's a wonderful engine because it's very easy to pick up for people that aren't traditional coders and don't, like, you know, can't really use Unity because the, you know, like, aren't coders. So it's great for that reason, and because everything's already there and ready to start a test play with RPG Maker. There's not too much setup you've got to do. But there are its drawbacks. It can be very limited. It can be a bit frustrating to get the vision you have in mind working because of those limitations. But I always think there's a way, you know. You just have to think and just use hacks. I say use hacks. It's a way to break the engine to get what you want done in some way or another. Voted, thank you, Alice. Yay. Haven't got a vote as well, I see, which I like to say. And could you possibly copy the position of the axe on one custom hero to all the sprites, then paste onto another custom hero to reduce the workload? Yeah, that's kind of what I think you're thinking the same thing as me, Aggro, I think. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. Let's just get Photoshop back up. So you see this sprite sheet here. This is the hunter in battle, and this is the warrior in battle. And all his different animation frames that he uses in battle. So the plan is to get the axe on every single one of those in a good position, so he's holding it in battle at all times. And then I'm going to literally just merge all the axes together in one layer, copy it, and it'll just be a simple copy and paste into position job for all the other custom heroes. So, you know, when you think of it like that, it's not too bad. It's very easy to do. It's just that when you've got hundreds of assets, that can take a lot of more time than you expect it to. But you never know, it might actually be not as bad as we think. It seems daunting at first when you think, oh my goodness, we've got all these custom heroes, but it actually might not be. I always think, like, put on some nice relaxing music and do it, and then in an hour it's done forever. So when you think of it like that, it's not too bad. And boo Hank, vote boo, yeah, vote Hank. But I'm not going to influence everyone. I love them all. I love all these characters, folks. So I actually haven't voted myself. I've not actually voted because I love them all, and it's just not possible for me to pick because I love them all. Hank, hi Mars Raptor, how you doing? Don't listen to streamer, listen to this random person. But yeah, vote for whoever you like the most. We have
all the character sheets here, they're at the bottom. You just need to click on them to look, and you'll find out what they look like and what their personalities are. And yeah, it's just for funsies, in all honesty. It's research for me to think, okay, so and so isn't that very popular. Time to make them have the best character arc ever. But yes, I'm actually pleasantly surprised Elvira has a vote. I thought people would hate Elvira, but I'm glad, because I think Elvira's a very interesting character. Meryl and Woody need love, that's for sure. Meryl and Woody need all the love. We make them extra special on purpose, guys, so that they're better, so they actually get some love. And Black, thank you for joining the Discord. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the stream. Yay, read the sheets and voted. Thank you so much, Kung. Okay, so back to the job it is. Okay, so let's get the axes in, because the one that he's holding at the moment isn't the axe I actually want for him, because I don't like that material bit at the bottom. It kind of, I don't know, I'm not won over by it. And I think this is I think that's the original. This axe looks a bit more epic, so in fact I think I'd just prefer that anyway. I mean, some of the other axes are even more interesting, like this one and this one look pretty cool. But the problem is I don't want to give him an OP looking axe too soon, because it's the start of the game. So I kind of want to stick to a normal looking axe, really. Actually, we could do this. Just grab that wood bit and just stick it over that. That's probably best. Because this is a great starting looking axe, I think. But yeah, I guess we'll see, won't we, guys? If the warrior and hunter and the custom hero will have more axes over time. I don't want to make a commitment to it just yet, just because of all the assets we will have to do it on. But definitely the other playable characters will have different looking weapons for sure, because that won't be difficult to implement. We just need a common event, I believe. And there is a plugin that checks common events every time you close the menu, so we just have to set it up as a sort of if statement, like if so-and-so is equipped, then give it this graphic. So that won't be hard at all for the other characters. It'll just still be a pain in the butt for the custom hero. Right, so choose your favourite child. I know, it's the hardest question ever, isn't it, when you think of it like that? It is like choosing my children, that's for sure. That's why I couldn't vote. Hi Rose Chub Cheeks. Oh my goodness, Chub Cheeks. You need to vote for Woody on that poll. Chub Cheeks. There we go. Woody needs some love. I actually expected Woody to be popular, like super popular. Time to make Woody even better. That's the goal. So his weapon will get prettier as he gets better. For the custom hero, it's hard to commit to that because it's gone blurry and gross. We need to change the setting to nearest neighbour, I think, to avoid that. Okay, so that should be fine. Yeah, for the custom hero, in answer to that question, Van, the answer to that is not sure right now, simply because we've got hundreds of different assets for the custom hero, so it would mean I'd have to there would be a lot of work, an awful lot of work involved for doing different variations of weapons for the custom hero, because we'd have to put that axe on top of not only put it up on top of every single custom hero, but
this in the game, the common event would have to have like so many different like if statements and that as well. And it's possible, but it's just the workload. But the other playable characters, 100% will have weapons that get prettier. So, for example, who have we got? Well, I believe Van's character is going to be a playable character. So his character, for example, your character Van, will have prettier weapons as the game goes on. When you get new weapons from shops or crafting, they'll look different. Because I think that just is cool. It's just a lot nicer to see weapons change. But it's just, yeah, we'll see with the hero, because it's just the asset, you know, the custom hero. Hello, miss, how you doing, Neffel? It's good to see you. Good to see you, Neffel. Happy Monday. Hey, don't tell me who to vote for. That's not how democracy works. Well, you can vote for who you want, Chub. You don't have to vote for Woody. We all know you will, though. Oh, hang on a minute. So, I was going to say, I didn't think that it was that axe, but it looks like it is. But I don't know, I think I still prefer this axe for a standard axe, so we'll use this one instead. In all honesty, though, I would love to make the custom hero have loads of different axe types and the hunter lots of different bow types. I'm not going to lie. I would love to do that. And I'm very much likely to go all out and put in the extra work to make that happen if I have to. It's just, I don't want to promise it because, you know, it is a bit daunting, but I would like to do it because I just think it'd be better. Right, so we're gonna pick a good position, like if I'm told the axe. I mean, one thing we do have to do, this is super important, it has to be within the box. We can't, unfortunately, make it larger and make him like hold the axe like that and have it make the canvas bigger, because yes, we'd have to reposition everything then, and with all the custom hero versions we've got, that would take like weeks. So for that reason, I think to make everything easier, if we can get the axe in the box, that would be fine. And I think it actually looks cool flipped like that, with him holding it like that. I mean, I will probably have to do something like this, like rub that out, just so it gives the impression that he's holding it. Because if it's like that, something looks a bit weird about that, doesn't it? In my opinion, I think it'll be better if it looks like he's holding it. So we can do that, and I think that looks fine. Something like that. What do you guys think? Like he's clearly holding an axe. So. Which is the old man barrel? Hank's the old man barrel. They're also on Twitter, guys. So I actually uploaded the character sheets on Twitter. So let me just go on there. They're on the Raindrop Chronicles Twitter, though, not mine. But nobody gives me love on Twitter. So honestly, I know what it is. It's a Twitter algorithm. When you post links on Twitter, guys, it makes your tweet like invisible to everybody. And yeah, I posted 2 links, so that didn't go down well. But of course I had to post a link, because how would people vote on the poll if there was no link? But yeah, the character sheets are all there, and I've put a link to the character sheets so you can read them bigger on there. But they're on the Discord as well anyway. But yeah, Hank's the old man barrel. I spy with my little eye, the best twinsy there ever was. Hi, Moon Shadow, how you doing? Oh my goodness, I didn't think we were going to see you today, because I knew that you was on an adventure. But welcome back. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good Monday. I have never tweeted. Instagram is my jam. I don't blame you, Alice. In all honesty, how things are going, I've got the idea to boycott Twitter. because it's not doing anything for me at all, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time posting on here. Yeah, and Instagram in comparison has been absolutely marvellous. I've only done 2 posts, Raindrop Chronicles posts on Instagram, because of time reasons. I need to do more, but so far I've done 2, and just those 2 posts have had more attention on Instagram than I've ever had on Twitter from all the tweets for over a year. So yeah, Twitter's lame. Sorry everybody, but it is. I probably just don't use it properly, but you need to hack the Twitter system, create a tweet with links and retweet it yourself. Yeah, people actually use tags on Instagram. I think that's the difference. Like, there's literal actual exposure on Instagram. If you tag your post, it actually works. Like, people pay attention. I posted a couple of Raindrop Chronicles photos on Instagram, and I had people actually comment on them, asking me stuff, like being super interested. But when it comes to Twitter, it's like you're talking into a void. It's just a different story for some reason. And it's not like I don't have any followers on Twitter. My main account, I have over 700 followers. And, you know, just keep using them both. Eventually things will stick. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult balance, in my opinion, when it comes to marketing your game and developing your game, because both are important, right? But at the end of the day, making the game is the most important thing, because without the game, you know, there's nothing. So the more time goes on, the more I'm like, actually, I'm going to leave social media for a while and just make the game. And then I'll go back to social media after. Because, you know, we've only got time. You know, we've only got so much time. And those times we're tweeting could be going on to useful game development stuff. Yeah, I found my way home sooner than expected. Didn't think I would be home for a while, but it was a good little adventure. Oh, that's lovely. Figured I would hang out here for a bit. Got mod duties in 20 minutes. Yeah, congrats on becoming a mod in a stream, Moon. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. I rarely use Instagram, but yeah, organic connections take time, for sure. And I found a lot more people on Twitch has Twitter, not Insta, though. Yeah, and that is true as well, Alice. Like, most people on Twitch do have a Twitter, but I'm just not a fan of how the algorithm works right now. Maybe if it changes soon, it'll be better again. But right now, it's a bit weird, in all honesty. Maybe I just don't know how to use Twitter properly. I'm thinking that's probably it, but in my timeline there's a lot of random stuff that comes up from people I don't even follow, and people that I am actually wanting to see the tweets of, I don't even see their stuff in my timeline, because maybe they've put links in the tweets, so it's been pushed out by the algorithm. Do you count Twitch as social media? Oh, everything apart from Twitch. When it comes to Twitch, that's happening no matter what. But every other social media I'm referring to, like Twitter and Instagram. Things such as setting up posts early and scheduling them, thus you don't have to be tweeting all the time on Twitter. There's a lot of ways to get Twitter folks to notice things, but yeah, there is a lot out there to compete with. Yeah, for sure. It's just something I've never connected with. Some people just seem to know exactly what to do with Twitter, you know. But yeah, I think with me, I don't engage enough on there, in all honesty, with other people. Because I've heard rumours that the algorithm likes people who engage with everybody, but I just don't have the time to be doing that as often as I like. I mean, I do comment on people's stuff when I can, but it's not like I don't spend all my hours doing it, if you know what I mean, because there's other stuff to be doing. I think, yeah, that's all right. I think how he's looking there. We're now deleted something I shouldn't have. I used to schedule posts for a job and it still takes a ton of time up. Yeah, I see a point that it can be easier to like get posts up in advance for sure, and then you can focus on your thing after you've done that. But yeah, you're still using time in the first place, I suppose, aren't you? And I've forgotten how you're doing. It's good to see you. How's your weekend? Not too bad. It went super quick as always. Hope yours was good, Forgotten. Yeah, I got rid of something shouldn't have got rid of on that particular class. There we go. So I'm thinking, yeah, you could hold it like that. So now all we've got to do is put it on all the other sprites. We have to get it in the right position as well, because otherwise it'll look all weird when it animates. But we'll definitely do a test play to make sure it all works before we put them all on all the other custom heroes. I've locked the background as well because he was moving and that wasn't good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all in the right position. So basically, folks, what all this is the idle. This is the idle pose. I'm actually going to get up the sheet on Google Images, so RPG Maker, Battler. We can see the template of how it all works. Battler states, that's it. I don't know if states is the word. Oh, here it is. I've found the image. So let's just get this up. Okay, so here's what they all are. Let me catch up with chat, guys. It was a quiet one. Well, I hope it was a good quiet one. Someone voted for Woody. I wonder who did. Yeah, Chub Cheeks. Chub Cheeks voted for Woody, I bet. Got to refresh, I think, because it's not updated for me. Oh my god, Meryl's bottom. That's it. Meryl's got to be my best character ever now by me to make up for this. And I've done it too as part of a job. Overall, if you get a majority setup prize, still save time on other days. But yeah, still takes a bit of time to prepare. Yeah, I think like my issue is like doing tweets is fine. But I feel like doing them isn't really benefiting me as much as I'd want it to. You know, time is important. We don't tweet for the sake of it. No one wants to tweet and to avoid. We all want to be noticed. Let's admit that. So it's more that what am I doing wrong with the algorithm? Like the algorithm for some reason doesn't like me on Twitter, and I think it's simply posting links in that's doing it for me, because I've just heard Twitter hates links and actually purposely buries tweets that have got links in them. But most of the stuff I post has got links in, unfortunately. So, yeah. Stayed in the sun for a couple of hours during the weekend and my nose is worse than Rudolph. Oh, no, but Rudolph's cute. So, that's good. It's good to have a Rudolph nose. Excuse me, Miss Rain Robot. What were some of your early exposures to video games and programming language? Oh, you mean you're asking Rain Robot what his exposures to programming languages are? Well, Rain Robot's an expert in life. Rain Robot knows everything. Renaissance. Who's this character? Oh, good question. I'm assuming you mean this one. Forgotten, right? This is one of our custom heroes. This is actually the custom hero version I'm using in my test plays right now, which is why I'm doing him first. The custom hero can be whatever you want them to look like, basically. Forgotten. There's a lot of versions. I'll show you a few examples. Here's just 4 random custom heroes I've pulled out right now. So that's one. Hunter. That's another hunter. That's another one. And that's another one. These ones happen to all be dudes, but we do have ladies in as well. So yeah, there's hundreds. So I'm going to say there's 100 different possible outcomes of custom heroes you can have, because you have the option to change the hair colour, the hairstyle, the complexion, and whether you want them to be a warrior or a hunter. So because of all these things, even some have beards. So that has doubled the assets for males, because some males have beards. Because of that, because we've got the custom hero feature, we've got hundreds of possible heroes. So we now have got a big job on our hands to get every single weapon put down on every single custom hero version. But we're going to do it the most easy way we possibly can. The plan is to get the axe on all the sprites for the battlers, because by vanilla RPG Maker doesn't let the hero or any playable character hold weapons, you see, guys. You have to do it manually if you want to do that, and I obviously do, because I want to show them holding their weapons because it'll look cool. But yeah, work is involved in doing it, unfortunately, but it'll be well worth it in the end. Lurky Lurker is back. Hi Trubaldi, how you doing? But thank you, Aggro, for answering that question for Forgotten as well. Yeah, we haven't seen him much. I mean, we see him when we do test plays, but if you're newer to the stream, then you've probably not seen our custom hero yet. Don't really enjoy Twitter myself. Yeah, it can be a little bit. There's a lot of drama on Twitter as well that comes up, and I'm not one for drama. It happens. The politics, should I say. Twitter politics can be a bit boo. I don't know. I always see your tweets there. They show up on my feed since I follow it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because I have had some people say to me that they've not noticed my tweets and didn't even realise I tweeted, and that can be a bit disheartening. But I've always thought the link being there hasn't helped me, because it's common knowledge that links are bad to Twitter, which I don't see why they should be, but oh well, Twitter's rules. How you doing, Rod? It's good to see you stopping in to check on how stuff is. Hope you've had a good day. Yeah, we've had a good day. Well, we're doing all right, aren't we, chat? I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing good, Trubaldi. How are things going on your end? Did you have a good weekend? They all look cool, they are. And I'm really happy that we have a custom hero thing in this game, because you guys can all make the one you like. You're not limited to just a default custom hero. Okay, so back to what we was looking at before. I'm going to put the straw poll back in. I'm going to put it in chat a little bit today, because I want votes. I want to see who's popular and loved. Okay, guys, so back to this. So this is the sheet. This is just what everything is. So we've just done idle, stabbing and escape. Yeah, we got to make. I want to make sure I refer to that, because sometimes it's not always obvious what animation is what. So this one underneath was ready physical, but we will be testing them in the battle system anyway to make sure. that it all looks fine. But in all honesty, this is probably pretty straightforward. We'll just put the axe where the hand is, where the gap is for where the hand should go, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And this one underneath that one is Ready Magical. So he'll do this action when he's about to do an attack. And he'll do this one when he's about to use magic, which a warrior probably wouldn't use magic much, but you never know. There could be a more magical based skill, but this is a funny one here because his hand's different, so gotta think how we can get this to look without it being weird. Because in some we might not necessarily need the weapon there, but you know, it's a bit more realistic if we can at least see the weapon most times, I'd say, because it'd be like, well, where did the axe suddenly go? And it's not so stressful anymore. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that, True Baldy. That's what I like to hear. Don't want True Baldy being stressed. That's not good. Gonna go do on offline stuff. Hope the weekend is pleasant and safe. Ooh, offline stuff. What could that be? See, I don't know life outside the internet. And you posted the poll result. You posted the poll result, Rose. Unless they... Oh, did I? Oh no, they're the results. Damn it. I think I just have to get rid of the R, don't I? And that'll send you to the poll. Thanks for letting me know for that, Mars. There you go. There's the actual poll question, guys. So if you vote, Carol's winning again, everyone, by the way. I'm curious. Why does everybody love Carol the most? What is it about Carol that Carol has that the others don't? That's what I'm wondering now. National, Rose. Carol's probably eating up the votes. The others might need their own poll, you think? Yeah, maybe that could be something we do another time. Do a poll of the others where that Carol's not on. I was just curious. I didn't realise Carol would be so popular. I mean, maybe that was very naive of me because it's Carol. Should have expected it, but this is proof, I guess. This is proof that Carol's the most popular. Able to use magic only with weapons like Steiner and reading and other stuff. Yeah, so that's true. Some warriors do use magic, but yeah, we're gonna put the axe on every single one, I'd say. We'll see. Part of me thinks it looks weird like that. I think we'd have to. Yeah, this is a funny one. We might have to be a bit more creative with some of them. Some of them will be easy to position because it's just, unfortunately, like I said, we can't go outside the box, so we will have to have it in the box. I do think that looks okay if we did go for something like that, but you know, we can't. We have to keep inside the box because it'll be cropped. And there's definitely a way to do resizing in RPG Maker and make the cropping space bigger, but it would just be way too time consuming to redo the layout for every single custom hero, and I don't want to give myself a headache. So if we can get it inside this and still look alright, then I'm happy. Maybe if we flip it, we'll see how it looks then. If we don't want it to cover his face, really, in all honesty. And sometimes it might look good when his face is covered, but I don't think it would for that animation. What's your position supposed to be? What's that position supposed to be? Yeah, this one's magic. When you use a skill that's magical, he'll do this. This one above was physical. So just before he's about to use the skill, that'd be his stance. And And yeah, it's a difficult one because he's got his hands open, you know. So really, he wouldn't, if he's got his hands open, he wouldn't have his axe in his hands, I suppose. Unless we did it like this. Unless we get it back. So, hang on. I was thinking of getting the wood bit showing where the hand is, but it just might look a bit weird. That's the thing. Can you put the axe over the shoulder somehow? Hi Zayas, how you doing? It's good to see you. Can he have the axe on his back maybe? Maybe we could do that and get creative about it. Let's just flip it. And we could always put it behind the hero and do something like that. You know, that gives the impression it's on his back, doesn't it? If we do something like that. Which would make sense, because if he's got his hands open like this, he's not gonna... It would be silly to be holding an axe while you're casting a spell. So I would imagine he'd have put it on his back for that. So I kind of am with you there. Don't know about that high up, but as long as you can see the axe poking out, then I think that could work. Yeah, for sure. So for certain stances, we'll do that, because some will look better on the back and some will look better in the hands. It all depends on what the stance is, I guess. And I never knew, but the axe hangs off the front. It's what the open part of the axe head is for. The open part of the axe head. See, I'm a noob when it comes to axes national, so I'm trying to get this here. So the open part of the axe head. Over the back is great, yay. But yeah, I'm just lost on what you said, national, just because I'm an axe noob. But I'm intrigued, because I'd like to know. I think it'd be handy if I did, if I understood that properly. But yeah, so let's just get that back in. So all these 3 frames are the same. They sort of have, there's a slight difference between them, I think, because that's how they'll animate. So that's the 4th one. After that one is God. So here it is, God. Now, this one could work behind the back too, but I'm curious how it does look in the front as well. I like to at least see. Because I could imagine you could easily use an axe as a guard. Like you could be holding the axe in front of your face, but it looks to me he's using his fists and the closed fists. So, I mean, that could work as long as it gives the impression that the axe is in his closed fist. But it will cover the face. But some might think that's what the point of guard is, to cover the face. So I guess here's what do you think, chat? Will this look better like that, with the axe, him guarding his face with the axe in front, or would it just simply be better on his back? This is a visual preference, but it's important because whatever look we go for these, I think I'd like to keep consistent with the other playable characters' weapons too. So for people who have swords or staffs or any other weapon types, they'll also have their weapon in the same position when I do it for those as well. The back looks great. You won't have to adjust our look. Yeah, sure, National. Feel free to share it, even in the Discord. Because anything like knowledge like that is always handy. It's always good to learn new things, especially when it's related to something that you're doing. Yay, Forgotten's got over 100 raindrops. GG. So yeah, I'm kind of torn because that totally works, having it on his back for that, but it could work where he's guarding and has the axe in front of him in his guard as well. I have like, I'm kind of 50-50 with that one. On the back, I think holding it with only one hand on guard to guard looks weird in my opinion. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. It's good to hear other opinions, so this is why I'm asking you guys, because sometimes one pair of eyes, mine, isn't enough. So, but yeah, I think because he has the closed fist, that really, yeah, it fits that it's on his back for that one. Okay, so we're getting there, guys. Right, so the one below that is damage. So he'll look like this when he gets hurt, when an enemy hits him. So this is an interesting one. This one could work on the back as well, but might work in the hand. Like it could go somewhere like here when he gets damaged. Could be flipped as well and go there. It's whatever looks best. Or it could, I mean, I don't know if this one would work on the back because it would go a bit like that and it would go over the crop line, and we can't do that unfortunately because we've got all this space here. Maybe this one could work if it was like that. Just making use of the space we've got, I guess, with that one feels like the best thing to do. I agree with Forgotten as well, especially because some playable characters may have weapons that aren't as good for defending. Yes, like if they've got a book or something, if they're like, you know, a diplomat, or and then they have like a non-aggressive weapon, imagine them guarding with their book. That would be, it would be amusing but silly, you know. So yeah, it's going to work for sure. I'd say a lot of these poses might fit very well for keeping the axe on the back. But it's also nice to show it off sometimes as well and have it in hand. But yeah, like I said, I'd like to keep consistent with the other playable characters, but if, say, for example, some weapons do look better another way, I don't mind changing it to fit with that particular character. I'm not going to be too rigid. I mean, I'd like to be consistent if I can, and that'll be the goal. But if, say, I'm like, oh, that staff totally doesn't look right like that, then I'd change it so it looked better with that character. I think we need to chop a bit off here though, because it's covering a bit of the hand that it shouldn't. Now that looks better because it was chopped up. The hand was chopped off before, and it actually looks like he's holding it now. So we'll delete that one and just copy and paste that one. Okay, and the one below the damage one is evade. So this would be when, you know, the enemy attacks him, but he misses the enemy. Now this one might work on the back. We'll see. I'm going to try and see a few directions. I mean, yeah, I don't think it would work in that hand because it's open. So it's either going to probably make the most sense like that in the closed hand, or on his back. And when we do a test play, we might feel like some of them might have to be changed. Like, who knows, some of them might look weird, so we might have to put some on the back or vice versa. But it'll be handy to just get it all here first. How many pixels from the 4 pixels, I think. It's really cool to see the progress of the game coming to life. I know, right? And it's all like a pretty, you know, everything a small step at a time. But then when you see it as a whole, then that's what's really cool. Seeing all those small steps form into one thing. It's exciting. Right, so we've done a third of it now. So now this pose is stabbing. And some of them I'm going to want to see in action, you know, in the battle to actually, you know, see the animation working properly. The stabbing one's an interesting one because we already actually have the action. Like when the hero or a playable character goes up to the enemy and hits them, there's a plugin that I've got set up that does show the swing of the axe and the action. So I don't believe this one would be that. So I'm going to have to see the test play to get an idea of what this actually is. But this is a weird one because we can't go outside the box, obviously. That's a rule. So we can't do something like that. But like I said, I'm not even sure what this particular animation is or when it'll play, when it'll happen. Honestly, I would like to say the back, but because it's stabbing, you know, it kind of makes it seem like he needs it in his hand. But the positioning of this one is just tricky. Unless, I mean, we could do that, but it would still be cropped. And that looks like he's guarding or something, so that wouldn't work. And we can't, unfortunately, rotate it either to just make room for it because it's pixel art. And it messes it up. We can only turn it at 90-degree angles, you know. So we just have to be creative about this. Stabbing will need a knife. Can you use a knife when the player uses stab? Yeah, I think probably not, because there isn't a knife in the player's inventory or equip slot, and I like to be realistic, so if there isn't a knife, I'd rather there not be a knife at all, if that makes sense. Otherwise, if we were going to go down that route, I'd want to like sell knives in shops. But yeah, I'm honestly not sure what this animation is, in all honesty, guys. I'm going to be honest, because we already have the actual animation for when he goes up to them and stabs or slashes them. But yeah, you're right, stabbing isn't an axe, it's a swing with an axe, not a stab. So I can understand you saying knife, but I think it might be misleading when it describes this as stabbing, because really he's not a stabber. That's not his class to stab. So I think it might have a complete different meaning than what we think it's got. So honestly, you know what I'm tempted to do, just for test purposes, is do this. We can go into the battle system now and see when that comes up, when he's got the green squiggle, and then we'll know what it's for. Because, you know, it's hard to do when you don't know what it's even for. So let's do that. And we'll get to see how the axe looks on these particular poses as well. So it'll be handy to do that now. Off we go then, guys. It does make it difficult. Hi, Jimmy. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Doing good. Is chat doing good though? That's the most important question. So I don't think I've got sound. Is it all muted? Yeah, volume's off. I need to redo all this options menu. That's one of the tasks for next month, because it's a mess at the moment. So let's just equip an axe. This is the Everbloom Forest where we are now, and this is like the first sort of hostile dungeon area of the game. It's outside Lightfall, and I've just set it up so we've got a chest here. These won't be here in the actual real game. This is just here for testing purposes. This chest is. It's simply to get Rose in the party quicker and give us an axe, and this fruit is here for the battle as well. But we'll test it on this guy first. But yeah, we've got the skill tree set up, so that's an example of how it's looking for the warrior. I want to make it pretty, because the good thing about this skill tree is you can add your own images and make it really fancy, and that's going to be something cool we can do eventually. But we need a CP to unlock these skills, so have to add that to the treasure chest as well. Wow, they were invisible then. What happened there? To figure that out. Okay, so he's got his axe in his hand and it's looking cool. Then he lifts it up there. Yeah. See, he's got... That's meant to be... Yeah, that's the attack, and that was fine. It's that stabby animation. What is all that about? We haven't seen it yet. I'm looking for that green squiggly swirl. Yeah, we haven't seen it yet at all, have we? Thank you, Rim, for the follow. Welcome. How are you doing? And hi Sangi as well, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? Welcome. In the closed hand look good for the dodge, and can we flip the head around so the blade is facing him? It'll be more like he's poking animation, like if he were poking a beehive or a stone statue to check if we're alive. Yeah, we'll have, when we get back to the battler sprite sheet, I'll reread that national and we can have a mess around. But yeah, for some reason we're not seeing the stabby stab. But everything is looking, no, it's not looking too bad. But of course we want to make sure we've checked every single stance before we put them on the other custom heroes, because we'll end up regretting it if there's a mistake there and we've already put them on all the custom heroes. Is it possible for a hybrid character to exist, by the way, like someone that uses both a melee and attacks and magic? Oh right, forgotten. I thought you meant as races then, but you mean when it comes to playable characters, classes, don't you? Forgotten. And I honestly, my answer is you, as long as it's a believable class, like something you'd get in D&D or another RPG game as a job or a class, I say yeah, if it's doable as a class in the game. Because, you know, we can have probably a lot of different playable characters that join the party over time, and they're all going to have their class and job be unique to them. We're not going to have repeated ones, like we've got a warrior and that'll be the only warrior, and the only sorcerer, the only priest, the only vampire. So yeah, we're going to have to get creative to make space for different types of classes that we might not have considered. Maybe it's a critical, or is there an animation for that? I'm going to actually Google this, folks, the stabbing one, because it's confusing and it's extremely important we know what it means, because it could take us by surprise, and once we've already put them on all the heroes, then it's already done. Let me reread what National said. So closed hand looks good for dodge. Yeah, I think the dodge one looks pretty neat too. Let's get the Photoshop back up. So the blade is facing him. Be more like he's poking animation, like if he were poking a beehive or a stone statue to check if it were alive. Which one? Do you mean the dodge one, National? Just want to make sure we're on the same page, of course. And Scaly, oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 3 months. How you doing? How are you doing, Scaly? Let's get some hype in chat for that. My goodness, 2 month streak as well. Thank you so much, Scaly. That's so kind of you. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. I'm a wife. Oh, you got married? My goodness, congratulations, everybody. Give congrats to Scaly because she's got married. Today? Was it yesterday or weekend? When was it? When was the big day? Posted some pics in your selfie channel. Awesome. I'll be looking at those after. Yeah, guys, make sure you use that selfie channel. No pressure, of course. Some people are shy and that's fine, but it's always lovely to see sort of awesome pics of you guys. Yay, well, congrats, Scaly, yay, and thank you for the hype as well. That's awesome though. That's super lovely. I wish you the happiest of lives, you and your hubby. That's awesome, yay. Okay, so I think, so you meant stabby, you meant the poking one. Cool. So that's good, because we might have an idea. It just still would be nice to get an idea of when we even see this. We didn't see it in our test play just, so I'm honestly curious. But let's reread that one. For a battle mage, when I reach Raindrop requirements, a battle mage class will be absolutely wonderful to have in our game, Forgotten. So if that's something you want to be, for sure. I'm not going to add it to the character form because I'll save it for when you fill in your form, because I wouldn't want anyone to steal that class from you if that's one that you have in mind. But I mean, I can add it manually once you're about to fill it in, and then you'll be able to pick it, or you can just write it down in the form that battle mage is what you want to be in the notes, and just pick some random other class and just say, I actually want to be a battle mage, and I'll get the message that way as well. Okay, so looking gorgeous. Love the dress, very elven. I'm gonna look right now. Actually, have a peek. I'm too curious. Yeah, it is really nice. Oh my goodness. I like the purple bottoms of your hair as well. I bet it's very nice. You look pretty. Oh, they're cute. I like the background of those pictures as well. It's really nice. Really nice background. Congrats, Scaly. I'm thinking we'd use it for our own animation purposes, but if it's already done now, we can use it for comedic effect later. Yeah, well, I'm going to read what you said. 'Cause honestly, I'm stumped for this one, in all honesty. That's why I put the green, thing, because I wanted to see what the animation was. But I'm up for all the suggestions, in all honesty, when it comes to this animation. As long as it looks decent and makes sense, I don't think it matters. But I'd still like to properly test, if possible. But I'm going to do a Google as well. I'm going to say, what's the stabbing animation, and see if there's any like guide that mentions it. Okay, so flip the head around so the blade is facing him. It'd be more like his poking animation, like if he were poking a beehive or a stone statue. Okay, right. I'm terrible. I'm going to admit, because I'm such a visual person, when it comes to descriptions, I really struggle understanding and picturing in my head. So I suck. I'm bad at that. Stabbing isn't for that class, it seems. Just looked it up and it seems there are separate animations for each weapon. Oh, well, thank you, Agri. That's made things a little bit understand. Okay, I get it now. Let me get this image up. So we got stabbing him, we've got swinging and shooting. It all makes sense now. I should have looked at those ones first, because this will be the one the warrior uses, this middle one here then, because axe swinging. So stabbing would only be for, like, you know, ninjas and people that stab, and shooting obviously for people like Akira's character. He's a gunner class, so he'd have the shooting class, and the hunter, I guess, as well would. So yeah, that's definitely nice to know, and that totally makes sense now why we didn't see it in the test play, because it's not actually a thing for this class. So thank you so much. That's made things a little bit easier now. It saved me having to Google it. So this is the one. This is the swinging one. So let's get Photoshop up. Now, I still don't remember seeing this one in the test play as well. Part of me wants to put that swirly green thing on this one now, just so we can see the moment when we get it. Because I'm assuming it's just before he lands the attack. That's what I'm assuming, so I will just say. But we don't have to fill it in for the... we don't have to put the axe there for those two, at least. Let's do another test play. So one of my long-term goals as well between now and episode 1's release is to make the UI, not only for the battle but the battle system, but for the menu as well, just to make the UI even nicer looking, because everything's pretty vanilla at the moment, folks. Like the way the menu looks at the moment is vanilla RPG Maker, and we do have like some unique menus, like we have the quest journal. Nothing in here at the moment because this is literally a new game and we haven't accepted the quest. We have a crafting menu and we have a skill tree menu, but it's all gonna, I'm hoping it'll look all much fancier when we redesign it before episode 1's release. And same for the battle system. Some of it I'm happy with. I like the active highlight bit on the boxes, but we need more. We need it to look even better. But that's something I want to do a bit at a time, because with things like UI, it can always be improved upon. But things like this are like first step things that need to be done. What we're doing today. It's something that I've needed to do for a while, so I'm glad I'm finally getting around to doing it. Because we need them to hold their weapons, you know. Oh, we saw it then. I want to watch that again. Interesting. So what I'm realising is that attack actually doesn't matter, because we already have a plugin that does the swing for us, if that makes sense, guys. Because that moment when we see that green squiggle, he's already got the axe in his hand and he's actually swinging it. And that's because, yeah, the plugin's done the job for us there, which makes our lives easier because we don't have to fuss about the swinging position and it being outside the crop zone. So, yeah, we don't have to do those 3. And it'll be the same for shooting and stabbing. It will already automatically have done that. Hello, hi Vic, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Happy Monday. Combat looks nice. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do. Well, we had a muted. We have the game muted at the moment, so you can't hear all the awesome sound effects. We spent a few streams a while ago looking for good like sound effects that the enemies make, and like ones for us as well, the player, because sound can make all the difference. So we're only seeing it visually at the moment, and it's getting there. It's getting there, but I'm going to try and over time get it to look nice, but getting it workable is the main thing first, making sure everything's working properly and functional. Prettifying it comes after. And hype for that, cheese. Yay, thank you for the hype. I too am making a game. It looks bad and plays like driving a rusty Volvo without a wheel, but I feel proud of it. Yeah, well, step at a time, Vic. Just like I said, you take everything a step at a time, because if you don't do that, you just get overwhelmed and it'll all come on. Yeah, so for sure, you should be proud. And I believe in you that it'll get even better over time. I love turn-based combat because I love dungeon crawler games. Yay! Well, I'm a nerd for turn-based as well, guys. And this game is going to be turn-based. As you could see, we had like a little turn-based counter in the top corner. So very similar to Final Fantasy X. Because the other Final Fantasies, and I use Final Fantasy as an example because that's kind of my franchise, that I'm a bit of those are the games that I grew up on and made me fall in love with RPGs. But a lot of Final Fantasy games around the PS1 era, PS2 era, they didn't really have true turn-based combat. It was the ATB, the action time-based system. Final Fantasy X did though. You could see whose turn it actually was, and you could properly plan ahead what you were going to do because you could see that turn count. But the others, no, they just they had the illusion of being turn-based, but they were actually ATB. But this isn't ATB, this is turn-based. Pancake noises, yay! Pancake noises, yeah. One of our enemies, it's a big tree. You'll see him later in like the 5th and 6th screens. Well, mainly the 5th screen of the Everbloom Forest. He's a big tree that you fight. He's called Father Maple, and one of his skills that he uses is Protective Pancake. And it's this, like, I'm still in the process of perfecting it because it's such a creative skill, but basically a pancake barrier comes up in front of him. And I think that's really quirky and creative, and thanks to the community that we have such cool ideas. I know it is way off to think of it, but do you think you'll want to try and port it to consoles as well? Well, with consoles you need like a license, and with RPG Maker, it's not possible with PS4 or Xbox to have an RPG Maker game on there, but I do believe the Switch have sort of released RPG Maker now. But it's not as simple as just releasing it on the Switch just because you can. Like, licenses and that come into it, and it's not like this is a zero budget game at the end of the day, so unless like it ever was possible in the future because I became rich, then maybe. But you know, right now it'll be, I say Windows is like the confirmed release. Like, we can be 100% sure it's going to be on PC, guys, no doubt about it. And anything else like Linux, Mac, Switch, that's all a big massive question mark right now. It all depends. If it's too much of a headache, then no. And that doesn't mean it wouldn't happen in the future if the possibility ever allowed me to do it, but because I don't own a Mac or Linux myself, you know, I wouldn't be able to test on there, so it makes it pretty unlikely that it would be on there unless I had test players who had those machines. I'm trying to figure out a healing system right now. There's only one healing item in the game. Vitar, I can't say that one. I like it. I need to get it to healing the player, or there will be a lot of dying. Yes, balancing things is definitely a challenge as well. And we'll be doing battle balancing next week on stream because we'll want to make sure that the fruit boss is the perfect difficulty level. You know, we don't want to be dying constantly, and we don't want to be killing them too easy either. So yeah, it's all about balance, and we need to get the skill tree implemented properly, the skills in that skill tree, so we can actually be a bit stronger for that boss. Otherwise we'll get killed if we don't have any skills. If we can only attack the boss, that'd be bad. We'd get slaughtered. So this week, mainly Wednesday and Friday stream, I'm going to be thinking about the skill tree skills, and then next week it'll be actually about perfecting the fruit boss battle, the first official boss of our game. Well, good luck, Vic. I remember when we came up with that one. Fun times. Zero budget, but with a lot of love. Yeah, and you know, when you're like me, a poor, starving creative, you just don't have the say. You just have to make the best of it, of what you've got. And I think as well, it's also extremely rewarding to have nothing and actually build something. You know, once you've got all the monies in the world, you know, that it's easy once you've got the money, but doing it from nothing, well, it's not easy. Nothing's ever easy, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, just so the feeling of doing it from nothing is just a very, very rewarding thing. It's going to be awesome for sure. Yay. You mean this won't be the Dark Souls of turn-based combat games? Well, we won't have a difficulty level, because someone did ask once, will there be hard, easy and all that? Like, all the difficulty will be the same with our game, because it's just a lot of work to bring in difficulty levels on top of everything else we've got planned. I mean, one thing I am going to be doing is making the quality of life options flexible for you guys in the options menu, so you'll be able to decide if you want the mini map turned off, or if you want quest markers turned on and off. It's all, so some of you might prefer to play it blind, you see, without those visual indicators. Some those of you that are hardcore, but then there's people like me who really love seeing the quest markers and like following them and getting every single quest in sight. I'm a big nerd for that, but I do know some of the community feel very differently to that, and they prefer to not be guided when playing an RPG. They want to have quest markers off and don't want to see mini-map indicators and all that kind of thing. So I want to like make the options menu flexible enough to turn on and off those things. And that is like, you know, something super awesome that I'll be proud of having in. So you guys can play the game how you like. But yeah, difficulty level, it will just be about we'll get that perfect balance, you know. We don't want it to be like, oh my god, I'm rage quitting, because that's frustrating. This is a game about storytelling and enjoying an adventure, not about being an absolute pro at the game, you know. So we want it to be beatable, but we don't want it to be too easy either. We'll get the balance, guys. We'll figure it out, because of course I will be releasing builds and stuffs and things like testing, and that will have to be done, of course, and things like that might get tweaked over the course of the development and perfected. I'm making the Bloodborne game that look and play kind of meh, really. You can do it, Vic. Guy is really excited to stream this when it's finished. Oh my goodness, he'd stream this. Rex said the same thing, and I got really like giggly. I was like, what, you'll stream Raindrop Chronicles? Honestly, guys, I'm going to just say now, if anybody here streamed Raindrop Chronicles, I'd be screaming, because that sort of thing is just it just blows my mind that anyone would play my game on stream, you know. So that's makes me happy. That's super sweet. This is the whole reason I didn't enjoy Vanilla WoW. No quest markers. Oh really? Also, I don't have the nostalgia for it. So you mean you like quest markers, Alice, or you don't like quest markers? Because everybody's different here. I remember it was about stream 50 or so about a few months back, I asked everyone in chat, I was like, so guys, do you like quest markers in games, or do you prefer like being blind and finding quests yourself? And it was very mixed, so mixed. Some people were like, oh yeah, I have to see the quest markers, I have to get every single quest possible. That's me, that's basically me. And other people are like, no, I like to find it myself, because that makes them feel good and like they've, you know, rewarded the fact that they've found the quest themselves and discovered it without a quest marker telling them, which I totally get that opinion and wanting to play it that way. For sure, it makes complete sense. Everybody plays differently, for sure. It'd be interesting to see guys stream Raindrop, yeah, for sure. And anybody, yeah, it's exciting for sure. So I'm excited already for episode 1 release, even though we're a way off. I did at one point say 2020 would be the planned release for episode 1, but it's probably going to be more 2021, because when it comes to making it, I would rather it be perfect and then rushed, if you know what I mean. But we'll see how things go. I think we could potentially make a lot of progress over the summer and autumn. Like, we could get lots done, but we could also be at a state where we're like, no, we've got to have more. We've got to make it better. We'll have to see. Have you thought of putting Easter eggs on the world? I guess it depends what Easter eggs. I mean, I'm definitely one for small details and discovering little lore tidbits and little things like that. So, for sure. If that's what you mean, forgotten. If I have the time, I'll add in 12 achievements and 2 secret ones, which can only be acquired by unlocking the endgame. How do you unlock it? I don't know. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing as well, Vic, because I love achievements in Raindrop Chronicles too. It'd be super exciting, especially because it's a choice-based game, and we're gonna have options to romance multiple characters. Well, you know, there's multiple characters that you can pick to romance. So there could be achievements for things like that, for which one you've romanced. Years and years ago, he streamed Undertale and we did all the voices between us. It was so much fun. Oh, Undertale's such a nice game. Such a good game. Such a memorable cast. That's definitely an inspiration for me because it has such a quirky, charming cast of characters. And if I could get Carol and her friends to be even 1% of those guys, then I've done well. I prefer to have quest markers too, and aggro prefers quest markers, as do I need quest markers. Awesome. So you guys are like me then, because I'm one for those little quality of life additions that help guide me, because I can easily get frustrated at a game when I don't know what I'm doing, if it's all blind and nothing to guide me. But I can totally get, for sure, those that do prefer having it all hidden, because there is definitely a challenge with that too, and that's very much the old school, like a JRPG, RPG style of things, to not have quest markers. It's more of a modern thing, isn't it, having quest markers? So if you're more of an old school retro gamer, I can totally get you're not wanting quest markers, but I'm just a nerd for them. I usually explore everything along the way, but I often go for long periods and not playing and come back to a game, so no quest markers makes it really hard to pick back up, for sure. And I'm one that has to get everything, like The Witcher 3 is an example, because that's one game I did 100%. I got every single question mark I could see in sight. I just have to do it, and it would bother me if I missed something. But maybe there should be an option in game to turn markers on or off. Yeah, that's basically the plan, Van, because it was mixed opinions with this community. Some people like them, some don't. So that's what gave me the idea to have it in the options menu. We basically have turn minimap on or off, turn quest markers on or off. What else would we have? There might be a couple of other sort of UI option on and off switches as well, but it all depends if it's possible. Of course, I've already tested and know we can do that for the mini-map and for quest markers, so they're definitely the two that we'll have in the options menu. I need to do every side quest possible in RPG games, yeah, for sure. If I love the game, if I'm obsessed with it, then yes. If I'm not into it or getting it, then I'm more inclined to not bother. But definitely if I'm having fun, I need to do everything. I do actually know how to unlock the end game, but I don't know if I want to tell people. Oh, for sure, you definitely need to keep some things secret, Vic. That's the fun thing. And I mean, like a Witcher Easter egg or other popular games, or maybe even TV series that you like, Game Friends. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful because I'm a noob with copyright rules. Like, I don't know much about what's allowed and what isn't. I've got to do my research, and I always think it's better to be safe than sorry. Like, I wouldn't want to reference something and then get sued. I'd be like, what if you put that character's name in? That's our character from our game. There's some kind of got to be a bit careful, and I'm not the biggest expert at that, so I kind of have the opinion sometimes it might be better to not and just keep everything original, but I mean, we'll have to say it all depends what's allowed and what isn't. I've got to read up on things like that. because it can sometimes, there might have to be some things that are changed. I know for a joke, like this was the second ever stream of Raindrop Chronicles, we made a Colonel Sanders NPC just for a joke, because back in those days, the very early streams, everything was just for fun with this game. I wasn't really taking it like super seriously, so we were just doing like silly things like that. And it's like, but KFC's gonna sue me. So it's like things might have to get changed because we don't want to get sued. That's not a barrel. Is Geisicle's character in Raindrop going to say Yikery? Asking the important questions here. Who knows? Who knows the answer to that? That's not a barrel. Hi, Big. Yeah, not every character's a barrel. I know that the barrels are so lovable and everyone wants to see them 24/7. But, you know, gotta have variety. Gotta have humans too. There you go, there's the poll. Just because Big mentioned barrels, so I thought it's the perfect opportunity to bring them back. To bring back the poll. How are the results now on the poll, by the way? Oh my goodness, poor Meryl. Meryl with her 0 votes, that's it. We gotta make Meryl the best now to make up for this. Also, Oliver's drawing with Carol, guys. I'm looking. Oliver's really popular. Probably because he's cute. But Carol also is as well. I like that Hank's got a bit of love as well. No, not names, of course. Like an item that looks like the pendant of Geralt and have the characters comment on it and such. Like for sure, like if like I know I'm gonna be safe and not get sued, then I'd totally be for doing stuff like that. I mean, other forms of media do those sort of things, so for sure forgotten. Don't see, but I just get worried. I'm a bit of a get worried, but we'll see. It's only because I'm so new to this whole world and that I want to make sure I don't screw up or do something accidentally illegal. But I'll be fine. I've got you guys to guide me as well. Okay, so back to Photoshop. Okay, so where were we? Completely. Oh, yeah, so that was the stances. So we're on physical skills and magical skills now, which are they basically similar to those ones there? Not really, but I think this one, these should really go on the back, probably similar to these ones. Did you just call yourself a barrel? Did I? I wish I was a barrel. I want to cosplay a barrel. Cosplay Carol the barrel. Some of the positioning and alignment of these might be a touch off because, but we'll see. I definitely want to make sure it's all perfect before I copy and paste it on the custom heroes, because once we've done that, we've done it then. We can't go back at that point. We want to make sure it's perfect. Okay, so what's the next one? Oh, hang on. That's on the shooting one, accidentally. That needs to be left blank. These here we don't even need the axe on, like we said. Okay, so that one was... There we go. I was going to say, why have I got it on that one? That's like the other one. That's him sleeping, actually. And that's him dead. So this one here is use item. Yeah, a lot of them are definitely going on the back. Because it doesn't make sense for him to be holding his axe, I suppose, when he's using an item. Okay, so the last row we have escape, victory, crisis, danger, abnormal state, sleeping and dead. So escape. We'll see what looks best. It's nice to have it in his hand for some of them, you know, just to show it off a bit. But I'm not going to just put it in his hand when there's no reason to, or if it doesn't make sense. This is the victory pose. We've still got to do escape, so we'll put one there. But this is victory, so it could work if it's in his hand. It could be on his back on that particular one and he's in his hand on this one. Because I could imagine him holding up the axe to like celebrate. And other players hold their weapons like that to celebrate too. The axe next to him when he's mortally endangered will look endearing. Yeah. Or sticking up. I guess we'll experiment and see what looks better. But yeah, something that looks endearing would be nice. Also, we have to chop off. I don't want the wood covering up the hand. Yeah. Does that look right how it's supposed to? Something doesn't look quite right about that, since I think it's because we need some of the wood bit to be here. Maybe that's why. It just, surprisingly, I didn't expect it to be this. You want to, you know, it's important to make sure it looks believable in his hand, you know, and in some of these, it's not 100% perfect. So I need to definitely make sure that it is. But it's nice at first just to get it in the position we want. That's the first job. And just tidying up the hand, and that can come after, I guess. I think we need a bit more here coming. I feel like this part of the hand should be what's covering it, but there should be some more here. But I've accidentally, I think I've deleted it. Yeah, that's probably better. Something like that. Just felt like something looked weird about it, how it was before. Maybe get rid of that bit though. I don't know. Maybe move it down just a bit. Maybe we could, if it looks. Oh, let's merge those two axe parts though. So. It's still, yeah, if we move it down just 2 pixels, then it still looks like it's in his hand. But yeah, we need that bit back. Because now we've got. There we go. Yeah, that's far more, I think the way he's holding it now is far more believable than it was before. So yeah, that's kind of, we need to make sure, I'll probably go through all the poses and make sure the hand looks right, you know, in all of them. So it's going to take a bit of time till I'd be happy with how the sprite sheet looks before I add it to the custom heroes. And we've still got to do the hunter as well. And I probably will want to do the hunter with you guys before starting to add it to the custom heroes. To be honest, I'll probably do that bit off stream when we add it to the custom heroes. Because I'm not sure if we'll fit that bit in today, but we'll see. Looks awesome, yay! Okay, so now this one is also part of the victory pose, but he hasn't, it's different of course because he's not got it in the air. I suppose it would make sense if we just make him hold it, something like that, and then the other frames it's like he lifts it up, so it's by him there and then he lifts it up after. But yeah, we'll have to fill in that bit. It kind of is a bit chopped off at that point, and let's get it in. So the axe is actually like half the size that we have it, because with our battle system with the sprites we have them 2 times as big as vanilla RPG Maker, because he's tiny. They look tiny. by default, and it didn't work with our resolution. There we go, it's kind of filled that gap in a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit, might look a little bit awkward, but it's only there for one frame. These two are like the key ones, but we'll see. Okay, so that's victory. We got escape here, by the way, so probably would make most sense. I mean, we could have the option of having it in his hand here, but we could just easily have it on his back as well for escape. Let's just say we'll try both. Yeah, I'm thinking on his back just because this is literally just the animation, you know, in JRPGs when you press escape. And that he'll like just go back and he'll look like that. And then they will have escaped. Okay, so the one below this is, yeah, these are like status effects, like if they're poisoned or, you know, been injured or something, and that's sleep, and that's unconscious. So I see them on their back. What do you guys think for these three? I mean, maybe. I mean, it could work like that. Like I say, I do like to show the axe off. And in certain ones, like the casting animations and using an item, it makes total sense that it's on his back for those sort of things, but will there be different item grades? Oh, items. Now that is a question. We have got an item stream that we need to do in the foreseeable future. I would probably say once we've finalized all the boss, once we've finished the boss and we're happy with how it's balanced and how it's all working and looking, that will be the time to talk about drops, things that the boss is going to drop. We've had brief discussions of that, and I have got a notepad file somewhere of times when we've chatted about that. So at some point I'll have a stream where we discuss item drops for the boss and the other enemies in the Everbloom Forest, and not just drops but items overall that we're going to have in the game, like potions, revives, antidotes, but our world's version of them, so we'll give them their own unique names as well. We don't want to just call them potion, we'll think of a good Raindrop Chronicles version of them. And of course, you know, it's thinking of the mechanics as well. Like there might be things that we want to do in particular with our items in our game that we haven't even considered yet. We do have a crafting mechanic planned, so I'm definitely imagining that monsters would drop monster parts that would be used for crafting as well. But yeah, this is all very much still up for decision, and it'll be super fun when we finally do discuss that. I like your idea of in the ground. It might work for all three. Yeah, I'm torn. At first I was thinking, behind his back, but nearly all the versions are behind his back. It feels like we've got a lot of him with the axe behind his back, so I'm thinking, part of me thought, just have him holding it like that. But then, yeah, we had the dead one as well, and I kind of want to consider that too. So, you said it would look endearing if it was beside him, didn't you? Because it's difficult because we can't really rotate. We can only rotate at 90 degrees because it's pixel art. But I'm sure there's a way to position it where it'll look cool. Would it feel like it's just balancing on the air if it was like that? Yeah, because it's at an angle, you know, it makes it a little bit trickier, because then it's like, yeah. But yeah, I think that could work for when he's injured or got a status effect on him. And this one's the same, I think, so we'll just copy and paste that. And what's that? Oh, that's sleep, that one is. Now, sleep, you know, it is the dead one and the sleep one are the most interesting ones, because would he hold an axe if he was dead or asleep? Because usually you just let go, don't you? That's the thing. You just let go of your weapons. So it definitely would make more sense for it to just be. It's the angle I'm not sure of, because it would be on the floor, let's face it. It wouldn't be angled. But the thing is, guys, if we do this, so we put it flat, it's gonna make it look deformed, because pixel art it doesn't like being rotated. Thank you, Jason, for that follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How are you doing, guys that are new here? Anybody? Well, my bot's super good and puts out all the commands in chat, so feel free to click on those if you want to read more about our little project. But if you do have any questions, then totally feel free to answer. I mean, we can try different rotating mode. But yeah, they mostly always look awful if we try and rotate. So we've got to just be creative and think how we can make it work with the limitations we do have. So yeah, like he could totally just hold it the same as he does there, but yeah, part of me isn't sure. I'm not sure. Could be beside him though. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. We need to fill in the gap though, where the hand part is, of course. But if it was like stuck in the ground, or just gave the impression of being, even if it's at an angle, weapons can sometimes be angled, right? If they're on the ground. I guess I always feel like gravity would make them fall flat, but sometimes they might stick out. I liked when it looked like this angle. I'm glad to follow. This looks awesome. Thank you very much, Jason. That's very kind of you. I appreciate the kind words. The handle this way. Oh, okay. Like a number 6. I'm a big silly, so I'm going to take a while to understand that. Right. So, yeah. So not like this, basically. I'm going to just rotate a few times now until I get to what I think you mean. But, so we've got that. Well, we'll have to fill in that. That's one way, with the axe actually stuck in the ground. Then we've got that way. Then we've got that way. So we've got 4 angles, every 90 degrees basically we've got, although we can flip and rotate as well. So yeah, we've got some choice. You know, we don't have the full freedom of rotating it to any angle we want because of it being pixel art and getting deformed. But you know, some of these could work. I'm curious which way national means. I'm just a big silly when I'm trying to grasp things sometimes. The last one, can we put it behind the guy just before the one it's on now? Okay, so not that one, that one. Is that the one you meant, national? Because I definitely trust your opinion. I trust chat's opinion, like how they visually see it. I like a second opinion and a second pair of eyes, or a third or fourth pair of eyes. It can be really helpful. Because just me, like sometimes your eyes play tricks and you're like, well, does that look right or not? And you do need that other opinion, don't you? So yeah, that does make sense, because at the axe metal part being stuck in the ground definitely could work. So it's whether just testing something. No, I don't know if that would work. It could be fine like that. I'm just wondering if it should be more flat at the bottom, if it's kind of giving the impression of being stuck in the ground. If so, then it'd be like that, I suppose. Behind him and ahead of him, and if he were on the right of the box. Oh, so you think behind? Okay, I'm confused. You just mean behind him like that? I don't know. Or do you mean here, ahead of him like that? Just so it's peeking. Ooh, peeking. So there's that one. I'm kind of not sure now when I accidentally deleted the bit at the bottom. I kind of want to get it back now. We'll put that back first. So I think that's what you mean when you says behind and ahead of him. Then you mean that being put behind him like that, or sticking out like that. That's sort of looking like peeking, isn't it? And that's 100% the angle as well. Because we can't really have any other angle, I suppose, because then it would stick out, the stick would, and it would be cropped off. And I guess it's thinking of the dead one as well. Because that's one option, having it like that. But we could... It's endless, the amount of options. Well, it's not endless, but you know, there's a few options we can decide from here. I want to try the one with the axe in the ground with this one as well. I could just copy and paste that one in all honesty. Don't know why I'm doing it the hard way. Let's just copy and paste that one. Can you put a layer of just the blade on the top layer and have the stick behind the character layer? Can you put a layer of just the blade? Sorry guys, I am absolutely useless to understanding this. Okay. I can only work by images. In all honesty, if you guys drew me an image, I'd get it immediately. But hi Green, how you doing? And hi Rex as well. How is the stream today? It's going good. Just I'm terrible at following instructions. You know me. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I guess I didn't realise what we're trying to do before us answering the question. Yeah, all we're doing, guys, is we're working on our custom hero. This is one of our many hundreds of possible custom heroes, and we're working on putting his weapon in place for when he's in battle, basically, because by default in RPG Maker you cannot see the weapon. There's no weapon, it's lame. There's no weapon. So we have to put the weapon that you use there manually ourselves. And we'll do the same for the hunter as well, with his bow. When we've done this, when we finally do it. So we're on the last two now. This is the hardest bit, when they're dead and asleep, because they wouldn't realistically be holding their weapon when they're dead and asleep. So we're trying to think of nice, cute, endearing positions for where the axe would be positioned when they're asleep and dead. I think the blade in front is for the poison sleep one, because that should solve it. The blade in front, yeah, my brain's turned to mush, chat. I'm very sorry. Sometimes it does this. Sometimes my brain just decides it's not going to behave anymore. And anything, even like the simplest word like hello, I wouldn't understand what that means either. Thank you, Rex. Yeah, I'm just one of these people. Like, we're all different. Some of you might grasp instructions brilliantly, but I've never been one to follow written instructions and be like, yeah, I know what you mean, and do it. Like, I'm always confused. And the only way I can really grasp something is from seeing an image of it. It's another reason why, say, if I'm playing a video game and I'm stuck and I need to follow a guide, I'll always choose to watch a video over reading an actual written walkthrough, because I just wouldn't understand a written walkthrough as I would if I actually watched a video showing me. So that's kind of where I am with this as well when it comes to reading chat instructions. It can just be a tricky one. Especially it must be frustrating for you guys as well, because you know exactly what you mean. And when I'm like, oh, I don't understand, that must be frustrating for you as well. Maybe we should switch the blade with the character's hair. Overlay a new axe over the current one and then erase everything except the axe head. Sorry, just trying to mix your brain up a little more current. Couldn't help it. Well, you'll be banned because I want you to be nice to me, not making it worse. Okay. Right, so let's understand. You don't want my brain to be mush, guys, because I've got a mouse game at the end of the day. And if it was mush, then it wouldn't happen. 2 years and 9 months. Hi, Drains. Oh my goodness. You've been following me like since the beginning, basically. But I'm kidding. I'm not going to ban you, really. I'm not that mean. I mean, I am mean. And I can ban quite easy, but you know, I'm not going to ban people just for something small. But come on, guys, we want my brain to be working. You're so nice. I'm sorry I didn't mean it. You have an awesome brain. Thank you. Yeah, my brain is mush, so I'm not actually sure if I can carry on doing this particular bit right now. I mean, I'll totally copy and paste what National said because it's honestly going to go a long way when my brain's working again. So I'm going to copy and paste that and read it after. But I just can't right now follow instructions. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if I should save this because I don't want to save over and then not have the old version. I need to put all the old versions in a folder, so I've got a backup. That's very important because if we've ever made a mistake and we think the axe looks silly, then we'll want to get our old version back. But we can go to the hunt for now. I'm going to just keep that tabbed up, and I'm gonna get the bow. We're going to find a bow for our hunter and start placing that in positions as well. The status one or the dead one? Both of them are, guy. But National's helped. My brain's too mushy to understand, unfortunately. But I have saved the chat, so. Hello, I'm back. Work got busy, so I had to lurk for a while. Welcome back, Alice. Well, you've not missed much. You've just missed me getting my brain turning into mush. Okay, so I'm going to look for a bow. I'm just putting bows in Google and we'll see what we've got. So this is what we have. So there's a few like fancy variations there. And I think for a standard bow, for where we are now in the game, we don't want to have something too fancy. It's early game. So probably that one. The top one. Probably looks the most simple. Hey, Rose muted while my son works on school but watching back. Hi, Lee, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your RPG Maker adventures are treating you well. When you get back to the status one and the dead one, could we see what the animations look like to maybe help with the input on where to put the axe? Yeah, sure. And honestly, guys, I really appreciate you being so helpful. I hope I haven't seemed at all like dismissive of anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, of course. I just it's just difficult for me to follow instructions. It's something I've always personally struggled with. It's a big weakness of mine, following written instructions, because I'm just such a visual person. So it's just thinking of the best way to approach it so I actually understand what you mean, chat. And I'm not saying I never understand instructions. Like sometimes if I'm in my room and I've got peace and quiet, and I can read it and I'll get it then, but it can be difficult on stream sometimes. Doing great. Finally at a good break with my online university, so I've been diving back into RPG Max. So, oh, that's so nice. I'm really glad that you're able to continue with it, you know. I get the feels for sure, because there was a period in my life when I was doing something creative that I was really enjoying, and I had to stop doing it because of full-time job. But I didn't stop doing it. I just did it when I got home and went to bed really late, and I only got 4 hours sleep every night. But that's kind of the sacrifice you make, I suppose, if you're busy but still want to work on a project. But that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Elite. And can the axe be sticking out of the head when he's dead? Honestly, maybe. We could approach this in a number of ways, and it's honestly what looks the best. And I suppose this could be a subjective thing too, because everyone's gonna have different opinions. I mean, I could like just do a few variations and take a few screenshots and put up a vote or something. That's always an option. You know, that's something we could do, but yeah, it's the time, because we've only got a bit of stream time left, but we could always do it next stream. I've been trying to track the stream from a distance, and it seems like a lot of cool stuff I've seen happening. Keep it up, Rose. Yeah, slowly but surely, Elite, we're putting it together. And I'm aiming for a playable build actually working, like looking at a good point in July. I think it's going to be my target, so that'll be nice if we can meet that. Okay, so guys, so yeah, here's the status and dead one. So yeah, guys, it's we've been messing about with it, and if you want to give me some instructions, feel free to. But I'm gonna read them off stream if that's okay. I'll just copy and paste them into a notepad file. So I've put in everything National said about overlaying the axe, which I think I'll definitely grasp that when I'm reading it off stream. So and Alice as well suggested, I'm going to copy that too, because I'm kind of tempted now to try a few. I'm going to read what you guys say, and I'm tempted to experiment with those positions and take a few screenshots of them. I mean, yeah, I could always do that and then put up a poll on Wednesday's stream, and everyone can vote on the positions they like the most, and the one that wins will be the one we go for. It'll mean that I won't get this custom hero stuff done until then. Like, that means I won't be able to do it off stream today and tomorrow, but that's fine, because I can always work on other stuff, because there's plenty of other stuff I can do. Yay for finishing work. Honest, the sleep and dead both look perfect now after they've soaked in a little, minus the stick poking out in the man's head, of course. Yeah, we'll get rid of that one, because that's very sick. And honestly, those positions could work. Definitely National, but I don't want to not just ignore some of the suggestions you've given either, because they could look even better, you know. And for sure, this is pretty important, because it's not only going to apply to our custom hero, but it's going to apply to every single dead playable character in the game, because they'll also have the same pose with their weapon. It'll follow the same consistent template. So I feel like it's an important visual decision to make, and I'd rather it look good. So it might seem like just a small little thing, but it's not just this one character. Every other single playable character we're going to do these same poses for as well when they eventually come in the game. So he looks super cute dead. He does, doesn't he? But yeah, guys, I mean, this is just one. This is just one custom hero. I'm gonna bring in the rest. Well, I can't open all the rest because my computer would crash. You know, because there's that many. They'd all be opening Photoshop and everything. It'd go crazy. But there's loads, and I can just open up a few now. We'd need to double their size though, because they're 50%. These are lady characters. Look, it's Guysicle without the beard. But basically, yeah. Just without the beard. There's one that will have a beard though. So, you know, like this guy's got the beard. He's just got short blonde hair and a darker complexion. But you know, laughing my ass off. I just randomly opened that one, and I was like, yeah, that one totally is. I used to be Robin Hood before Twitch. Yeah. So yeah, these are just examples of some of the possible custom heroes that you could have. But those are just like several. There's like hundreds. So, you know. So it's going to be, that'll be the last job. Before I put the axe and all the bow, if they're a hunter, before I put the weapons on all of those, I want to make sure it looks perfect on this particular one first, because once I've put it on all the others, there's no going back then, because they've all been done. So we want to make sure we're happy with it first. So guys, I think we're pretty happy with how they look on our others. I think we're happy with all. It was just literally the dead one and the status one. So I'll have a think about it, guys. What I'll do is I'll do the rest of this off stream. I'll read, because I've copied and pasted the bits that you had tried to help me out with this, so I'll read those off stream and I'll see what I can do. And if there's a few versions that I'm like, a few of these could work. Yeah, I'll take a few screenshots and put up a poll or something in the Discord on the next stream so we can vote. Just visual subjective preference, I guess. I think they look pretty good so far, but we'll see. That's just an idea, because I might do this off stream and find that I'm completely fine with the version that we've got, and the others don't compare. So I might find that we're all good and we don't need to put a poll. It honestly just depends how it all goes, because I've got to experiment and see. But things need tidying up, because we've got some that have a hand bit missing, so I need to fill in the gap. And there's a few as well where the hand is a little bit covered up, like this one. I kind of want to just tidy up that a little bit. I think it could be okay, but we'll see. But yeah, I think we're there. I think we're getting there. But yeah, guys, it's so much better when you can see the weapon, in my opinion. More work, because it means you gotta put it all on, but it's worth it. But here, let's open up the bow now. I think before we end stream today, it'd be nice if we at least get some of the bow ones done, so we can have an idea how to make them look. And yay, I'm glad Van. And he hates mushrooms. That's his dark side. How dare him? He doesn't even like stuffed mushrooms. I don't mind some mushrooms, you know. Depends on how they're cooked. I used to have a fear of garden mushrooms though. They used to make me like freak out if I saw one in the garden. I don't know why. But I'm alright with them now. The middle animation in the 5th row has the axe missing on the back. Or is that intentional? Let's double check that one, Aggro. Because maybe I missed something out before we start our hunter. So the middle animation on the 5th row. On the bottom row, you mean? Oh, that one, I see. He doesn't have an axe, yeah. That's very true. Don't worry. Thanks for letting me know, though, Argo. But, yeah, it's definitely not 100% perfect. There's a few, like, little parts they're missing. But I'm glad you did spot that. I need to, like, double-check the alignment of everything. Because I'm not 100% sure everything is 100% aligned properly. And if it isn't, it'll look jaggedy. The animation won't look smooth in game, so I do have to check that as well. But you know, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. How can someone so wholesome be the bad guy? What, Guycicle's a bad guy? No way. My wife had the biggest crush on Guy of Guy's Brawn. I've completely butchered that pronunciation, haven't I? Completely butchered that, which is great because I look a lot like Armitage. Oh, well, that's good. It's good if you look like their crush. I look like all their waifus that Rex has a crush on, I think. Yeah, I have to agree. Robin was gross. No mushrooms at all, and I'm a vegetarian, so that's a big part of my diet. Garlic butter mushrooms. Oh, yummy. That sounds yummy. I want some now. The antagonist in Robin Hood, yeah. Now I've revealed something. You guys will never forgive me now. I don't know Robin Hood. I'm pretty sure I watched it when I was a kid, but I just don't remember it. I haven't watched it in my adult years, so I'll need to refresh myself. Tries to get it on with Maid Marian. Okay, so did we? No, we didn't open our bow and arrow. I grew up on the stories. Yeah, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of, I watched a lot of Disney stuff anyway, but I never understood what the story was until I watched them again as an adult. I was a silly child. I think I just like looking at the animations. Okay, here they are. Never saw much Disney as a kid. Yeah, there's still loads I haven't even watched. But I watched the main ones. Okay, so which one is the... is the one we want here? So I've just put a background there. Okay, so we might need to use some with the arrow and some without, I guess. But maybe we only want that one. What do you reckon, guys? I guess it depends on the pose. I've copied and pasted that one for now. Oh, it's blurred. Yeah, we need it on nearest neighbour again. Same, my mum didn't want my sisters to grow up to be princesses. Oh, really? Your mum's cool. The trouble with, like, being, like, a young person and that you got all this, you saw like everybody, the world and people as perfect because of princes and princesses, but that's not real and what it's really like. So in some ways it's not a good thing, that's for sure. Your mum's cool. Just Snow White and Bambi, we were made to go outside instead. Oh really? That sucks. In that way, I'm very grateful for my parents then, because one thing, they brought us up on video games, and I'm very happy about that. I'd have cried if I had to be outside all the time. I would have cried. I had to pretend not to like Disney because my dad didn't like the singing and I was a young, impressionable kid. He didn't like the singing? How come? Did you think it was cheesy? Oh no. All the pedos. Yeah, that's the thing. Keep your kids inside because you don't know who's out there peeking from behind the bushes. Stop that, there'll be no singing around here. Grew up in the countryside, so more likely to be eaten by a rogue sheep. Oh no. Did you like being outside, Alice, or would you have preferred to be inside playing games? I think we know the answer to that. What a silly question. Disney karaoke stream. Just notice your character looks so cool. Yeah, Elite's character, funnily enough, you know, he's in his game as well, because Elite is also making an RPG Maker game, and he's further along in the development than me, aren't you, Elite? And he's like, yeah, he's a super cool villain, and he links quite well into, he's got a connection with other characters in the story already, like the king, and someone even wanted to romance him. Zexion wanted to romance Elite's character. That made me laugh. Hey, I'm back. Hi, Chubb, how you doing? It's good to see you. Megan's mum didn't want her to grow up to be a princess either, but she showed her mum. Yeah, she showed her. The other king said I was daft to build a castle in the swamp, but I built it all the same. I love how Elite is role-playing as Rex's dad now. It's amazing. The no singing dad reminded me of it. As long as outside doesn't have too many people around. I know, right? People. Except for you guys, of course. You're cool people. But not anyone else. Only the people who hang out here are cool. Okay, so we've done something like that, guys. So I'm going to kind of copy what we've got here. I mean, he has the axe behind him, so the casting animation in particular, he'd have that behind him, I'd say. But we also want to practice the positions where he'd have the bow in front of him as well. This will be interesting because maybe we should have the one with the arrow here for the ones where he... I mean, I don't know, because really the arrow should only be out when he's about to shoot, I guess. Something might... I don't know whether that looks weird. Maybe it's in my own head that it looks weird. We could make it... Oh, I'm doing it completely wrong. We need to get the positioning right first. No wonder it looks weird. I need a reference image, I think. Because I need that. I'm always better when I have something visual to look at. It's like I just cannot picture what something's meant to be like without that image. Something I'm asked often and I haven't given up on saying no. As long, yeah. Can you be all of our dads? Yeah. Alice has asked what I've been thinking this whole time myself. He could be, Elite would be stream dad. Perfect stream dad. First time it happened in real life, I was hanging out with one of my son and one of his friends and his friend's mom. We're playing Sorry, and he just blurts out, "I wish you were my dad." Oh, that's sweet. But it's not sweet for that kid's real dad, but but it is sweet for you. I want to see a picture of someone with a bow and arrow when they're not drawing about to shoot the arrow. But all the reference images I'm looking at are showing the arrow. Here we go. There we go. There's that's the perfect reference image. So yeah, we just need to hold the bit. So yeah, we've got it completely flipped around the wrong way. That's why it looked weird. I was like, hey, some of that ain't right. So we need to Now this is interesting because the bow is actually a lot higher than where his hands are. So tricky. What we gonna do? I mean, we could just put it on his back if we want to be lazy, but I would like to show him holding it, in all honesty. Like we've got this one holding the axe. And this is a job that's been on the cards for months now. Like, I could have done this months ago. This what we're doing now, but I've just delayed it because I've been like daunted by the prospect, because we got to put them on all the custom heroes, but it's something we need to do, especially now we're getting into the battle system stuff more, and doing proper like tests of that. We need to make sure everything's working properly, so I would rather not delay this anymore. That's cute but sad. What's his real dad like? His real dad, oh no, piece of trash, addicted to video games and doesn't give a crap about him. Hey, nothing wrong with being addicted to video games, except when you're an asshole from it. I suppose if it's a real addiction, then it is a worry, for sure. You should not be putting them above your kids' well-being. That's irresponsible. So no, not good. I only hear one side of the story, but all of the signs are there too. Aww. Well, Elite should be the daddy of that kid. With moderation. Yeah, they give a bad name. Give a bad name for sure, Alice. I finished a new feature for a new project I'm working on. Oh yeah, did you pop it in the... I remember seeing you put it in the creative work, and I was like half asleep when I opened it, and I was like, I made a mental note to look at it later. So I have to have a peek at that, Elite. I'm converting D&D 5e into RPG Maker mechanics so I can turn different D&D campaigns into RPG Makers. That sounds amazingly cool. Because I see a bit of a crossover. I feel like there's a bit of a crossover with D&D in this project. It's a lot different, but I'm definitely inspired by it. For sure. Just be a good role model as much as you can. Yeah. Be an awesome person is the rule. It's the Wizard Spellbook. Oh, awesome. That's exciting. How are you getting all the time to do all these things, Elite? You've got your game, you've got that, you've got the school stuff and everything you're doing in RL. My goodness me. Elite is Superman. Trying to lead by example, and he and my son spend time together before the quarantine. Would it look weird if you rotated the bow like you did with the axe? I don't want to give a lot of unwelcome suggestions, so if I bother you. Oh, no worries, I just want to make it clear, like when you guys give me instructions and I get like frustrated because I don't understand. I just want you to know that that doesn't mean I don't appreciate or don't want them. In all honesty, if my brain does melt and I get brain mush again, I would just copy and paste what you've said and put it in Notepad to read later, which is which is exactly what I did do for your ideas and stuff about the axe positioning and nationals as well. But honestly, I'm feeling a bit better now. I don't have brain as much anymore. It tends to be when there's a lot in one go to take in when it happens. But yeah, we can rotate, we can experiment and see what we can do. I mean, looking at reference images, you know, usually this bit here, this white bit, is always held in the hand, but because of the way this is all positioned and the design of this character, it's pretty difficult to do that. So we're definitely gonna have to think of other solutions. But yeah, when it comes to rotating, we're quite limited with what we can do because of it being pixel art. It goes blurry. I mean, it would be great to do that, something like that, but it's just unfortunately destroyed the pixel art completely. So yeah, we are kind of limited with what we can do, but we'll figure something out. LOL, I sometimes have to drop things by the wayside and to make time for my new stuff like my streaming. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I want to know all the tips for how you do it. Well, Rose, that's called using your brain. Yep, sometimes I don't want to use it. I'm going to head off being at my computer all day, so I need a break. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Thank you, Alice, for hanging out and for the chats. And see you soon. You are awesome. And yes, take a break. Maybe catch you in Guy or Rex's if they stream later. Yeah, of course. You take care. Have an awesome rest of your Monday. So you can't rotate it at all. Only at 90-degree angles. Aggro. So we can have it like that, which obviously we won't have it like that because a bow isn't held that way. But yeah, I think the way a bow is held is always so like that, isn't it? Where the string bit's at the front. So really, I think that is the correct positioning, and totally, if we could rotate it like that, we could make him hold it in his hand. But yeah, it ruins it's because it's pixel art. If it was vector or not pixel art, anything but pixel art, it would be fine. But pixel art gets distorted when it's rotated at certain angles. So, and it would have to just be redrawn if I wanted to tidy up, and I don't want to do that because you know, it's time consuming to have to do that. So either we think of a position or we just look for another bow, because we can look for another bow. There might be other bow designs that would look better when it's held that way. We'll have to see. I believe the string would be on the other side. Oh, you think it's meant to be? Because I originally had it like that. But then I looked at reference images and was like, yeah, it's meant to be that way. For example, this is the reference image I was looking at, guys. This guy here. He's holding the material bit in his hand. And some bows don't have that material bit, but they have something to grip on, it seems. But yeah, I know what you mean, because the actual wood part, if that is, yeah, that's in front. It's just difficult because in a lot of these examples they're actually drawing the bow, they're actually getting ready to shoot, and the one I've got isn't like that. It's just, we do have one version of it like that, but yeah, so if we, let's just put that back. Like that would work if we could make him hold it, but it's just that his hands are so low. You know. So I'm kind of tempted to do it so we don't have this white bit here, and just have it be wood all over, and then it won't look as weird then if he's not holding it. If that makes sense. It still looks weird that something about that doesn't quite please me. I think it's because it's in front of his face. I honestly think it would look so much cooler if it was like more like that. But unfortunately, his hands don't stick out to be able to, you know, his hands would have to stretch out longer to be able to do that. And we cannot, it's not going to be possible to make edits to every single hunter custom hero to do just for the sake of holding a bow, you know. It'd be crazy. Because it's covering his face, yeah. The whole goal is just to make, you know, try and make it look as good as we can, I guess. And yeah, the bow is definitely more difficult than the axe, that's for sure. It's a bit more tricky. I'm going to check something else. I'm going to look at some reference images. I've just put RPG Maker and the Bow Battler to see examples. I want to ideally see the Battlers RPG Maker ones, because these aren't RPG Maker Battlers, because then I can actually see how it's being done by others. But yeah, there's probably not many, because it's not the default to have the weapons in the hand. So there's some that are, but they're swords. Yeah, I wonder if there's any other bows. I really like those bows because there's a lot of variety there, but not that the hunter would have any other bow types, but you never know. I might decide to be that ridiculous and do different variations one day. But there's this one. And if I just try other bows, maybe others will just be a better fit. So, I don't know. It might be the same. But it's worth a try. Maybe you could put the part that is covering his face behind him, that it looks more like he's holding. That way it looks like he's holding it. Yeah, like I remember that National did mention something like overlaying, like we could totally do something so that we've got the bow behind him, but also just copy and paste that bow in front and just rub out what we want not hiding, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not articulating myself that well. But I get what you mean. Did I save that bow? I don't think I did. Well, I did. So I just want to see the difference with this one. But yeah, that something like that could work. We could just try that now just to see. I mean, the biggest problem is how his hands are so low, in all honesty. Also, that needs to be flipped. Because it'd be easy otherwise. But in all honesty, it doesn't make sense because his feet are on the ground, right? So, you know, why would the bow be that low? The proportions are just a bit strange, I guess, but... But yeah, we could do something like we've got it behind him, but... Let's add a background to this because it's really difficult to see the string on this one. Something like... Yeah, like that. So part of it was behind him, but then I just copied and pasted one in front as well and just rubbed out the face area. I mean, I think that's the best we're gonna do, because that way we at least don't have it going too low. But it still kind of looks like he's holding it, you know. Cut off the bow if you had it any lower, yeah. You might just try making the bow smaller. It's tough. I think it looks better a little smaller too, honestly. Yeah, even this, it's still weird that it would touch the ground, because these bows were actually made for RPG Maker, so it just surprises me because they really don't fit with the battlers at all. So I mean, I love them. They're like, they look so really cool, but they just don't fit with the battlers. So I think you're right. We might have to make a slight edit, and it's not gonna be a time-consuming one. I don't mind little edits like this if I need to. I do try to limit the amount of artwork I do to save time, and I don't want to have to edit the custom hero or anything, because once I edit the custom hero, I've got to edit hundreds of other custom heroes, and it's just too much. So, but the bow is totally fine. I don't have a problem with editing that, because once it's done, if you get what I mean. And I guess if we did want to use these other variations, I could edit those too and follow the same design I did to just make it small. Like, this is a bit messy, but you know what I mean. I've made it a touch smaller, just a few pixels, so something like that originally, and just made like that. I can go a bit further and make it even more smaller, like this or something. Could do something like that. It's messy. I'd want to make sure the string looks good and that. But what do you think? Something like that. Thank you, Chex, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How are you doing? So yeah, that's kind of the original, and that's there. And I would want to round it off a bit, and obviously make sure that we didn't have the string pixel doubling. So I'd do that. So I'd just make it a bit rounder. But that could work. Let's just say, let's just take this messy one in and just see how it looks. times to the size. And we'd rub out the bit where the hand is. There's something like that, guys. It's messy right now, but you get the picture, don't you? We'll put that there. Greetings, hi, welcome to stream. Good to meet you. So I think that's an improvement from what we had before, just that little bit smaller, you know. So we are coming to the end, unfortunately. Boo. Looks good, yay, looks good, but maybe instead of 2 times the size, make it 1.5 and keep it the way it looks. Yeah, the only problem is though with pixel art, it has to be double, like, if that makes sense. It's hard to kind of get across, but it either has to be like 100%, 200%, or we can't. It'd be pretty cool if we could do that, but unfortunately we are a bit limited when it's pixel art. Looks really good though, but yeah, it can be a bit of a pain in that way, the lack of flexibility with rotation and resizing, because it distorts it and you don't get that same sharp pixel look once you do that, when you don't do it a certain way, which is okay for sure. But we can do it. I think there's a slight improvement there. I'm going to obviously go a bit further to make it look better, maybe make it a touch smaller still and just rounder. And then it would basically be like 1.5 of the size then, I suppose, just from that edit. Yeah, so what am I going to do between now and next stream then, guys? So I've got my notes here. So I have copied and pasted what you guys have said. Look, you don't see. So I'm going to read that later, because honestly the positioning of the axe on the dead one and that, I want to experiment, and I want to read that stuff when I'm in my room in silence, so I can fully focus. But yeah, so that's one of the goals, to add all the weapons, the axe and bow, to every single custom hero we got. That'll be a good job done. And I love to do that before Wednesday's stream, but we'll see, because I might go back to that, because we do have skill tree work to do, which is super important, and I might do that on Wednesday. We'll see. It's going to be related to the battle system, whatever we do anyway, whether it's carrying on with this or moving on to skill trees. So we'll see, guys. Whatever I've done, whatever needs to be done, will be what we do on Wednesday. The candle could be shorter too, that way the hand covers the handle. Yeah, that's a good idea actually, because you can kind of see a bit of white poking out, can't you? So it'd be nice if it was designed in a way that either it's covered up by the hand, or, you know, it's centered at least. So yeah, good point, Okro. And Nikki, how you doing? Oh, look at you with those 200 raindrops, or 205 raindrops. Thank you for lurking and being awesome. Right, guys, so are we gonna do a raid? I think we should, shouldn't we? I think we should. So, I'm gonna go raid someone different. Well, some of you might know her, but Moonshadow, who comes to this stream, who I'm sure a lot of you know by now, actually has just become a moderator for this stream. So I feel like we should celebrate and give Moonshadow some love too. I personally don't know the streamer, but I know just from if Moonshadow recommends them, then they're definitely an awesome person. So let's do that. Exclamation mark raid. So hi, enjoyed the stream, hope all is well. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and honestly, thank you for being patient with me, because I'm not the best when it comes to following instructions, and that must be, yeah, but I appreciate that, and hopefully we'll get these looking really awesome next time. I really want to show them off to you all next stream. So thank you for all the tips and for being patient and kind and the best peeps ever. Wonderful stream, Rose. Thank you so much, guys. So the person we're gonna raid, her name is Clumsy, and she's playing a scary game, Spooks, which I'm terrible at. I'm bad at spooks personally. But there we go. So I'll see you all on Wednesday, and thanks for hanging out. You're all amazing. Take care.